green jersey. This is what it all comes down to. Team Spirit on the other side, of course, looking to just weaponize Donk as they always do, but weaponize him fine-tuned, sharper than maybe we may ever see him, as Spirit want all the same things that Falcons are fighting for. Team Spirit, Team Falcons, the clash for Kazakhstan!
Isn't this one gonna be special? We've already seen the power of both of these teams on all these maps. We saw the confidence from Team Spirit and Donk's interview before this final started. We know that the atmosphere is that both these teams believe they can win. Kerrigan's trying to hide his power level and wants us to think that this is going above expectations. But he knows how to make it here, and he knows how to make it past here too.
Oh, sick flick on a MongolZ to start. Just shuts down Donk immediately. Wouldn't you love that to be the tail of the tape all night long? 2 pistols, 2 opening kills. MongolZ able to still play ahead of the smoke as well. It looks like Spirit remain adamant about taking over middle, but they do just stutter step for a second. MongolZ doesn't want to be the reason that numbers go back. He spams through to offer a distraction, and Kyosuke takes that look down through those B doors. But now they're back, and Spirit think different directions. Still time to do this.
This is going to be hard no matter where they want to go. This site has the players ready for it. Clean. Ooh, clean again.
Okay.
Oh, and that's the laundry done.
All right.
Wow. Didn't get out the front door of mid, didn't get out the front door of B. No chance at a bomb plant, no trades in sight. And it's a shutdown in round 1 for Falcons.
This is what I think you're gonna love to watch, is some kind of a duality between Kyosuke and Tesses over towards that B site. You know, it's the Beretta kills that get a little scrappy there for MongolZ, but I think he's happy to kind of thrive within that chaos, or at least to survive it the first time. Let Spirit know this isn't gonna go down as smooth as they'd look for, and now, well, we get Glocks out of it. Spirit sat back.
We've heard both of these squads from either Sotfik over on Spirit, or it was Kerrigan in an interview with HLTV talking about the atmosphere and the mood when they go down in rounds early. They played against FURIA. Kerrigan said that it was frustrating in the first half of that game. Spirit, however, for Sotfik, said, we're getting better at losing a pistol and still believing that we can win. Now, so far, this run hasn't been that difficult for Spirit. They've handled the situation, they've been pushed a little bit, but they've never looked totally out of control. This could be an early scare for a team who knows that they should be a bit better.
3 bodies lined up and money to be made off MongolZ. He'll draw him in. They actually don't jump, even though they lost that bomb. Off that flashbang, trying to get back into it, MongolZ says, enough waiting, let's get this on. And so he'll switch right back to the Berettas that kicked off this map, finds himself another kill, and Kyosuke holds on to the mid doors. You'll get nothing here with the Glocks for Spirit.
Yeah, they didn't want to kick him off with an ace here. 4K for MongolZ on the anti-eco hold, denying any money from being wasted. What's he talking about there?
Demonic.
Yeah, I mean, Donk 666 after all.
Surely he's talking about Kerrigan.
Yeah, maybe I've seen a Nico tier once in a while.
Yeah, when he won Katowice.
But yeah, that's a Shanghai reference for sure.
First guns for Spirit. Flash over long and they'll find no contest. I'm curious to see like what sort of timidness might come out of Team Spirit if Falcons start winning these early rounds. Because with this evolution of Donk being set up properly with more utility, right? It's the kind of talk of the town that he's got more support around him. Well, all of a sudden, that could change up your timings. Making sure those pieces are in place, making sure that he's not just throwing his life away. Although it never does feel like that, even when he is working with little.
No
hit
kills.
That minute mark.
Got asymmetry in the setup. This is getting interesting and not in a good way for Falcons.
Blindsided.
Whoa, first kill.
Nico activates, and he gets it. It winds up working, even though they catch them off guard. Kyosuke's got a double. That is exactly what you look for. A Monte fast reaction, a Nico activation, a Kyosuke cleanup. That is the win condition of Falcons in 1 round.
That was still Kerrigan getting the flash off. 3 on Cat, and they have a full split with the long walk up. Kerrigan has no idea this is coming. Monte gets the first kill somehow after a couple of missed bullets. We thought that might not be a problem. Well, it was. In 3 rounds, Spirit have made 1 kill.
All the setup in the world in that round for Spirit, it just gets suddenly popped on. The 2 players catwalk get just as surprised as the Falcons players due to the long walk. When that op turns over and Kerrigan's dead, they're not anticipating Nico going forward like that. And not a shot missed.
Oh, it's all perfect. Absolutely idyllic here for Falcons. Couldn't ask for more. Oh, and you could ask for more out of Spirit. You cannot be missing a mid-B smoke on a half buy where you don't have a surplus of utility. They'll have to go back and get another one. That might be a setup smoke missing outside of B.
Made for your efforts. Could have been worse.
They don't bother breaking this open yet. Nico's got a cache of utility.
This next one could hit hard. Kyosuke's just gonna commit to the fight now. It's Nico blind momentarily. Here's that Hail Mary push out through the tunnels. Tessa's a little wild. At least Shiro finds one, trying to move it forward. Doubles down inside of the site. But the mid-hold can just give him enough time. Then there's a bomb plant to come through from Shiro and hands on that M4.
Do you even want Magic to leave? That's the question. Shiro's gonna upgrade to this M4.
But as he departs, the CTs get going, and they're not gonna waste time. Kerrigan wins the duel with that AUG. Magic's tagged down to half. Tech9 bested. It's Finn with a couple of kills to clean up. And he senses that timing, the tempo. You know when that Magic's departure from mid happens, just go ahead and prioritize the retake. So in what was 1 kill going into that round, it's nice to see Shiro get a couple plus a bomb plant.
This is a shocking start here for Falcons. Very quick to all the rotations. Everything in place. No one over 30 ADR so far here for Team Spirit. A little bit of utility missed. Shiro's kills allow for a bomb plant finally here for Spirit. That's the best we can say about this half so far. There is no scenario where you go to sleep last night thinking this is how the game will begin, considering your confidence versus this team.
An 8-0 Monte wants blood in the 5th round of play. Zontix is untradeable at the moment. Tess goes in, dies out, and Zontix anticipating something else, just pauses for a second.
Yeah, knows the double push is going to be taking place. Tess's spray's looking a little bit funky right now. Two rounds, he gets 1 bullet damage there.
USP was clean, but you're right, ever since.
Now it's a risk. Right now, all Falcons want to do is just dissuade them from coming here.
Pops it open, sees nobody close. Would love to get one off before the pack fully commits, but he's got no other way to reopen that, so he'll put a smoke in front of it instead.
Honestly, holding this would just be beyond.
Ooh, Donk's dead. No second kill. Zontix trades through. Magic's has got the mid-fight. Kerrigan's going to use that advantage of the AUG, but it's a man advantage for Team Spirit, and you could already see the hesitation there for Falcons to think about this retake. Spirit get through.
Spirit are on the board now with a round. There will be Kyosuke coming in on a flank to look to try to deny exits if possible. The player that they sold to Falcons, the one that could come back to haunt them. At least that's his goal, obviously. So a slight misread on what would take place here for the Falcons. Of course, when the first push goes down that way, no kill, only a touch of damage, they lose map control. But what they try to do is pretend that nothing's changed. They don't overreact and rotate, and instead hope that either Monte gets 2 kills, and his form is incredible right now. His form is actually always very good versus Spirit. Spirit have to really clutch their money. They cannot let anything more go. It's 2 survivors as they close this round out.
One of those survivors, though, Shiro with his op. Shiro, as he tends to be the second highest rated player behind Donk coming into the grand finals.
We have a full house tonight. Upper rafters stacked with fans. And this final, when you could, some combination of these 2 teams and FURIA and maybe some other underdog, you'd think about it. Donk, whoa, it's early.
Kyosuke right there to handle that.
A walkout, there's no flash in play. Wanted to try to steal some space, but Donk is 0 and 6 and stood no chance of clearing that.
Just leaving him to stew in it. A horrible start by Donk standards.
This is a setup we've already seen, but it's not the A split this time.
Nico still flashed in. He's gonna hard commit. Magic's out of the corner. No Xbox pop-up to deal with him. Just another free kill for the Falcons.
I'm loving the use of Cat. It's really well supported. Again, it's very floaty. It relies on a flasher in the back. You gotta have someone playing ante up on the bricks. You have to have a rifler like Nico who's confident on those timing swings. And sometimes you'll flash and someone will be playing ante and someone else will swing. It seems risky, but for now, versus Spirit's T side so far, it's the antidote.
Shiro is really talking. Did you see that?
I mean, they have to be angry. Donk is 0 and 6. They have barely any kills. They've got 1 ball plant so far this half. Last round, they win off of essentially 1 kill and then a good read on the B take. This round, they lose because they took an abnormal risk of having Donk walk out unsupported. Some kind of early round hard read. And they kind of don't even get a chance to play.
What is it that you think Donk expected? CT to be stuck in spawn?
If you don't go and molly out those doors, you don't alert anybody. There was a chance that if Donk walked out and they had some kind of interesting, unique A setup where they're leaving a huge gap in middle, he could literally go for a pickoff. He could start poking towards the window. He could catch somebody turned around or tossing a flash to someone, Nico getting grenades in CT spawn. The question is why that round at that point? We won't get the answer to that. And Spirit won't be thinking about it either. They're gonna have to continue forward. They have another bye. And with the introduction of Sotfik, as Mali's brought up so many more times, your utility stats have been amazing. This is not a team that is based only around one guy. Right now, they're trying their best to make it a team effort. But that's a moment where they don't utilize all the new things that they've brought in.
It's almost a tapping back into bad habits.
There could have been some kind of bait, There could have been something.
Off for Shiro on the mid doors, doesn't fire. This is a round where Sotfik has had a word with the team. And some of the best coaches are those that can kind of rein things in when the pressure starts to mount, when the rounds against you rack up. We don't really know if he's proven in that regard yet. Whether he'll be a help. Odyssey's vision regained as he goes for the mid peak, or rather, long hold.
I love every time we take a look at the map. There's already so much variety here for Falcons. The number of different setups and uses for Monte. The reason why he's generating so many op kills this tournament is because he's not starting in the same place every round.
He'll have a huge advantage on this.
They're gonna walk into you.
And he's gone.
Yeah, and Donk won't be able to chase this down.
Ooh, awful flash.
Crouches underneath that.
Donk decides to go for it while Monte decides to double back.
Got an interesting protocol and adjustment. Everybody starts to crunch towards middle.
We go, both teams trying to remain fluid this round.
So they're gonna try to punish Cat here from the CT side. Will they take this peek and run right into the op? Yes.
Yes, they do. Counter-picked, man advantage, Spirit. It's a slow burn that got them here. That bomb's about to cross over. They maintain the Cat control. It's gonna be the Aug death for Kerrigan, not this time. Nico in the backdrop's got utility flying beyond him. If he can hold catwalk, then the retake could still be underway. But both him and Tessa's dangerously low. And Shiro to to potentially be pinched is still just sitting on this corner. Now that he's missed the shot, they're going to try to press him. He gives TeSeS something to think about. And Nico, does he want to try this? 37 health versus 2.
Who's going to make a mistake?
Bomb at 25 seconds. Donk down beneath that lip of the ledge, and Magic's is just going to pop up eventually.
He wants to play active for this. Nico, could be a reaction. No, Donk will take him out. Second kill for him. Takes out Shiro. Nico on the A site. It's a missed shot. A rare missed shot for Monte. The crouch peek out of long doors is not what he expected.
No coincidence. Donk's first 2 kills, Spirit's second round.
Oh, tricky. The way he flashes back into that position. Now, overall, they get this A-Rap going. They'd like to go for these splits. They've in general known when they can have taken long control. Spirit Falcons are not giving them much of a fight over here if they want it.
Oh, Donk's gonna play with timing, charge through. Nico with the blue box, red like a book.
Well,
Donk's wide, sees a second. Now the game begins.
Yeah, he's back. Back to it.
We had a lot of posturing last round out of Team Spirit. You think Magic sitting on the corner, just setting up util after util. They were even having a bit of a powwow, talking things out before going into commitments. This round, stark contrast. You brought up already the Monte moments on the different parts of the map. Well, now we're getting different flavors of Donk back to back.
And I was thinking that this is, I just said, Falcons are not really fighting them in the early round over towards long. They don't want to make it that scrappy. They've approached A a little bit differently. Well, here's a change up, and maybe that's why they haven't tried that so often. Spirit handled that extremely well. Nico was blind and hard cleared. Bomb will get spotted, but there are just so many numbers. Spirit don't even know they're corralling them at the moment.
So it's just the price tag that keeps racking up in this one. TeSeS is certainly going to feel doomed at this point, so you'll see him try to fight his way out. Just bring somebody with you, because the odds are you don't get out of here. Now with that op, he'd love to. Shiro holding this cross, tough one for TeSeS, but he will get through unscathed. Knows that the chase could still be on, but now they've actually got a little space to hang on maybe.
They've got a stronghold here in the B side. It's not going to be easy to try to fight them, especially knowing an op is up. And nobody wants Falcons to save. Man, they look like they're about to literally exec B.
Once that smoke fades, they're coming. See what TeSeS can hit. First one's good. They pause for a second. They don't double down, so force survive on Spirit. Third round collected. Falcons still lead this 5-3, and we get a timeout from the other side.
I do love it, though. It's more of a real game. Donk started 0-6. We'll remember that because it already looks like he's going to have a good map. To looking at Donk's stats, again, the 1.0 KPR, him having that 1.0 back at Katowice. He's literally, again, trying to break his own records. What he did back at Kato was something that we thought would never be done ever, and now we have to contend with the thought that it might be done again. Well, it might be wide open. But for now, Falcons are still in the lead and playing very good CS, which is all we could hope for them in this grand finals. We know the capability, but, we remember even Kerrigan going up against Spirit and some of the finals that he's gotten himself into recently. As brought up, his first playoffs of the year.
Team Spirit looking to simplify things once again. Taunting sprints. There's Kosuke looking better up here than TeSeS did. A little change up in the positioning, little change up in the start of the round. Spirit may have just won a few in a row, but it doesn't look like this one will be added. It's not meant to be.
Well, they don't kill him.
Magix has other ideas.
Kerrigan doesn't take that swing, and now there's actually still only 2 players here. This is still a live wire for Falcons. They're going to be nervous about everything. It's actually insane to me that Falcons have not moved from the A site. The bomb is lodged back here, but because it was Donk and Zontix to go for the entries, they don't know that that was the plan from the beginning. It's going to be a pause and re-exec, and Magix has put himself in a very interesting spot. And I say interesting politely. It'll be, hard for him to have impact on the right timing. But as it stands, he gets cleared. He doesn't pull any CTs.
Plays the long con. Still falls back on TeSeS and Kyosuke. 25 seconds, they're wondering, are Spirit walking away, but they still seem to be on high alert. Now that's gonna confirm it. 2 nades fly out. They know they're both right there for the taking. And we go 4 up for Falcons at the end of this one with a rock-solid triple from Kyosuke.
It's amazing on the hold, man. You know, him in this position, him when he's playing B on Mirage, he's a real threat. Nobody's played with more great players than Kerrigan in his career, and you could argue no one deserves to have besides him. He does so well, instantly coming in with the biggest egos and talents, players who are in their prime or even just barely past it to try to revive their individual ability, and has already done that on Falcons in a short period of time. Falcons for about a year have just been potential, man. They can do it, they're good enough. The joke has always been one more superstar, but the thought in everyone's mind is they're really close.
This roster move's all about harnessing those superstars. Getting the most out of them and realizing potential. The thought of doing it immediately here in Astana seemed daunting, and yet here we are, leading Spirit in a grand final 6-3. We do get this walkout for Tanir. He's the first piece of a mid-play that Kyosuke shuts down. Now, a slight reaction towards the catwalk. Missed opportunity for Monte. Now the other Opera could post up, but Shiro's also gonna have to push that bomb forward. These 2 rifles in front of Shiro don't have bomb. Monte, bad sequence. It's all a distraction to get Zontix into CT spawn, and now Shiro's Op's able to get the better of his counterpart. That is a beautiful reaction.
Yeah, they make that work. 3-on-1 now, Nico. He's playing it back. They can go ahead and plant this bomb, surely. They've dished it out here on the A site, Donk.
Double off.
And Shiro gonna have an op, yeah.
Donk switches right back just in case Nico wants to take this.
Oh.
Crazy pathing.
Yeah, doesn't complete it.
Trying to keep it going, because if he just goes for the wide peak, you know Shiro's got that line, so he fails it. And he's gonna forfeit. And now this is a round where Spirit had options. You know, that bomb's still lingering in the back. The rifles got out, ate that flashbang, but Monte, his worst sequence of this series.
Yeah, you see him, he's generating all of these chances, but they're slight moments. There's one over top of default, the left side of it, versus Cat nearly gets upped in the first place by Shiro. So on the one hand, you can give him credit for showing the math. He got his volley out, the flash was good. He gave himself a chance at 2 flicks. They weren't the easiest shots in the world, but he needed them, obviously, for Falcons to grab that round. It did look like for Spirit that was about to be a mess. But now we see 4 of the last 6 here for Spirit completely back online.
Well, Donk has had an uptick in performance. This most recent round makes it feel like Monte is coming off of a peak. He'll be on the M4 this time, and there's a whole cohort coming his way. Early attention. Nico, 1 and done. Donk doubles down.
Oh, the 2
Rips heads off. And if it's not Kerrigan coming back to the CT cross to stop this cat play, oh, he does get 1 at least. There's still a bit of life left in Falcons if they want to try to take this chance.
Dump your utility, get that bomb planted. You know the CTs are slightly out of position.
Planting off front sight, TeSeS and Kyosuke on the approach. Here come the flashbangs to try to interrupt things. They reveal themselves, miss shots. TeSeS dead, Tanir's got it. And Tanir now also executed as Kyosuke goes on to the chase. He's got that op up close.
Support's a little slow here.
Time for the fresh mag, 20 seconds on that bomb, and Kyosuke doesn't have a kit. He doesn't have a lot of time, not a lot of wiggle room. And with that bomb planted front sight, he'll be exposed. And that smoke now faded as Kyosuke, feeling desperate to get into this, has to put fire in front of this last piece. And it's too far gone. No defuse allowed. Kyosuke's efforts all in vain, and Spirit close in on Falcons.
Yeah, perfect plant. With how quickly they took the site, they had it open. They knew they came up cat as well. So just very good forward thinking. There's always been a really late lurker in every one of these situations out of Spirit, sometimes out of position, this time perfect position. And once again, they can thank Donk for this. Oh my God, no way he did that. Spray transfer, the slightest angle, off to the right as well. Barely a head showing. If it was anyone else, I'd call it lucky.
Shows Monte there's levels to this. First round, Monte has to play with an M4 versus Donk, and he dies to a bullet bent around the corner. So Falcons' momentum at the start of this first map fizzles out. They'll leave them here on our 12th round with a scout and pistols. We haven't had any of these kind of hiccups, right? These breakdowns of real rifle rounds. Pistols have not prevailed. This would have to be the first time in this map for these upgrades to work out.
What it feels like to me is that Spirit have reverted to a B game of calling, oversimplifying, going back to, honestly, how they used to play this map like a year ago, to just focus on get one guy out in front of Donk, go for a 2K trade. It's actually worked to get him back in this half. The way they played Dust 2 recently, though, they played it on a completely different level.
I agree entirely. Think about it. We had Donk walk out on that weird timing middle, die, Shiro and Fatic talking like mad, then the timeout, and that simplification ever since. But now, to get through a 5-7 and a scout's the final hurdle here for Spirit, and it's not going well!
Oh no!
Not at all! 3 kills towards tunnels, upgrades grabbed, pressure out of the CT spawn, and Team Spirit go back to playing with the clock. It could wind up being their demise in the 12th.
It's the two-headed Hydra. They have a couple fights. Oh, Monte will take that out.
Go ahead, hunt down Kerrigan all you want. You've got 15 seconds with a smoke in front of you and only 1 point of entry into this bomb site. Shiro tries to get lucky, Kyosuke puts an end to it, and Falcons will pull off a bit of X-Factor, something we hadn't seen all half long, sprinkled in as they end the CT side.
I mean, they've been so good on B holds normally. Here they do it, they have an extra guy to start off. And again, I think it taps back into, we're seeing Spirit go right for tunnels. They're going for the mid walkout. They're going, just doing that snake up cat with everybody trailing behind, saying, let's just make sure Donk can have a good chance to get 2 entries. But again, really reverting back. And also, I mean, showing their range. You can't always play well to kick off a huge series. You can't always show up on the day and have everything go smoothly. So the fact that they could go back to that and make it work at the same time is impressive. But it also makes sense that Falcons win 7 rounds this half, started out looking so strong, and overall showed us plenty of good things to give them credit for. Setups, the variety, the op kills in for Monte, the flashes, the amount of time that they took advantage of Donk, and also the B holds. Kyosuke has 15 frags to Monte's 12. Both very handsome score lines to be rounding out the first half of a final.
The value that winning the last round of a half can have. Give yourself that smidge of confidence coming into a valuable second pistol.
Kerrigan knows how much this pistol can mean. Saw him already play into the late hours versus FURIA. Every round matters.
Donk sends the flash in for himself to go back in it. We'll see whether Falcons fall for this trap and whether Tanir can hit shots to the back of the head, because we know how difficult that can be. He's got the chance.
Don't get nervous.
Executes too.
Just be
beautiful.
Sharp.
That can get away from you. It doesn't. Tanir will still have a shooting gallery. A triple kill from inside of the pit. He does take a gush back. Kyosuke tries to just keep him peppered, keep him pinned. There's support. Kyosuke dead. It is all Tanir. Talk about tenacity.
Tanir on 4. The guy who amped up his gameplay back at Rio. The player who came in to try to support Spirit's core. Not just come in as some kind of support, but who started off slow. has really started to find his groove now and show us the ability that he showed us when he was styling on Tier 2 and 1.5 teams back on Heroic.
I'm going to say 2 valuable rounds out of Tanir. He finds that sequence for 4. He's also the guy that when those flashbangs landed on Catwalk and Donk died after the double entry on Nico and Monte, he brought that back. He opened A site. He put Monte down. And we know that was a driving force in that streak of victories Spirit were able to find.
This totally changes the complexion of the game. CT side up for Team Spirit. They're within 1.
Nice! Ебать, Андрюха, сука, красава!
Beautiful indeed. Just perfectly placed. Think about it. This guy is 7 and 10, has 2 multi-kills, one of them 4 frags.
Pistol kills are almost worth 2 apiece.
Quality, not quantity. Whole pack of players on the other side of that. They figure out what's going on. Magix just lets loose on the lead. Ooh, little fadeaway USP for the style points. On for the ace.
Yeah, make it happen, Magix.
Yes. Pulls one out. Made easy by the lack of buy out of Falcons. And a little crowd favoritism.
Yeah, smiling from ear to ear. A new IGL for Team Spirit. Round 15, and this one's for the lead.
What was once a 5-1 Falcons start to this game, long gone. That's without Donk having a takeover game just yet. That's without anybody over on the side of Team Spirit being untouchable. In contrast to Monte and Kyosuke, it's quite shocking to find this game tied up.
Yeah, they all have unenviable score lines at the moment. The only thing they're happy about is being tied on rounds. They know that'll have to change because this isn't a game where one team has superstars. It's one where both do.
No op for Shiro for the time being. Same can be said on Monte's case. Get this grouping of players over towards long just as Shiro decides to depart. So Tanir in the pistol, worth his weight in gold. How about Soon versus this commitment out of 2 rifles and the Tech 9, trying to set up U-tilt. Tanir goes wide, dead, empty-handed. It is Tesses to topple the first piece. Kyosuke emerges, catching Shiro just trying to tuck into that car and denying the Xbox climb up. No footing here inside the A site for Spirit versus Falcons first gun.
He was ready for it the entire time. Knew someone was down there. It's a very clean split. Where we even saw a round this convincing on a rifle at a Spirit in that first half. So they'll feel very good. Didn't do the economic damage they were looking for last round. They make up for it now. And they deny Spirit from taking a lead in this game. And they'll send them back to the conversations.
You identified it, that change up in strategy, going to plan B in the first half to try to adapt. Give credit there to Spirit where it's due.
They didn't have to split atoms to figure out how to win this round. I think they come in a little bit more simply. We know Kerrigan is going to play a little loose, defaulty. And all it really took was one well-timed flash to make the difference. I'm down with the realistic year.
Well-informed men.
Yeah. So who's going to step up for Spirit?
There's that off out of Shiro. Didn't have it last round. Will look to weaponize it instantly here in round 16. He is not alone in that tunnel push, and Tanir looks to go for the mid play. This is Team Spirit looking to take the gloves off. This is a high-risk, high-reward situation. If you can stop Falcons after their first terrorist round win, then good on you. Tanir's going to come totally blindside Kerrigan, which means Falcons probably aren't ready for the rest of this. Missed off shot. Donk dead. Tess on the rebuttal, but Tanir sticks around, and as he does so, tears him apart.
Oh yeah, it's welcome for Tanir.
Triple kill off that cat push as the lower tunnel play didn't pan out. He makes up for it in spades.
Suddenly a hero here on CT's side. I thought with a missed op shot there for Shiro that this was going to untangle in the wrong way. The call for Spirit is perfect. They sneak one up cat. Kerrigan thinks he has information from Suicide. He's watching, but doesn't see that push. They taken over lower tunnels at the same time. And there are Spirit chants in the crowd. And competing Falcons chants. Now this is a round that you just don't want to let get close, essentially. You know the job is basically done. Tanir's gonna spot another. How is he gonna ace?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah, my fault.
Nico's final hurdle, and Tanir just can't get it over. But ton of damage done, 4 kills. Nico, 5 health, empty AK. In other circumstances, maybe you could believe in that Kovac magic, but not with Tanir. Going forward off of the push and making up for the fact that Shiro's missed op shot lower was going to leave a lot of space for Falcons to maybe work with, right? They take over the base of mid, you fall back off catwalk, but Tanir's got other ideas. Gets his kill inside of Suicide, falls back, and just draws the line in the sand. Bottom mid entry denied.
But you love to see a setup that makes the team look like it just stalled. And if they can afford to miss the op shot and still have 2 players and chances to trade, lots of map control the other team didn't think about, that's kind of what was missing at the beginning of this game, that I feel like now that Spirit have warmed up into it, they're willing to take more complicated risks. Because again, this is a massive comfort zone, this map for Spirit. And even though he doesn't bring home the ace,
would have loved it.
Knows the round's over, but...
Fast move, Kyosuke off the op with the spawn. He goes for long and lets them hear it. But right now, the counterpart in Shiro is, again, trying to apply pressure to tunnels. We saw him in lower, not even get a chance last round. So he tries to take over tunnels from the other side. Falcons waiting for that mid-smoke to come up, hoping maybe they could find Shiro in a fair head-to-head op duel. But Magic's looking like he wants nothing to do with that door line. So Shiro stays here, stoic.
Yeah,
and again,
easy. They
will find a 5 versus 4 on a Falcons player unprepared.
It's also massive that he sees exactly where he's going to be setting up utility from.
This is going to let Spirit really cement themselves on this A defense. If Falcons decide that they just want to try to slam themselves up this cat plate into the hit.
And you see they're unbothered. Oh,
beautiful.
Perfect. They know exactly what's coming now.
Donk is ready. Taps away, doesn't kill Kerrigan instantly. Now you've got multiple bodies out. Tanir instead will take the next engagement. Donk going back.
Come on!
Doesn't even get his chance.
What are we talking about?
Tanir with the double. And MongolZ just picking up a couple kills for the road. No bomb possession, no teammates to work off of, and no longer a lead for Falcons. Spirit in the lead.
That's something I didn't expect to hear in this game after the start. Again, Donk starting 0 and 6, somehow still on a negative KD.
Trying to hang on to this op dearly. Not allowed.
USB headshot, op goes down.
Look.
A wildly successful position, and again, it's actually quietly quite a cerebral round. The way that Shiro's holding that angle, it's not that he just moved into that position. He had a sliver on someone who was walking up the setup utility, punished that, and none of the A players moved. None of the B players overreacted. They didn't expect an exec to come in, so it was a great read of the situation for Spirit.
And runway with it, as Spirit on the brink of double digits have just pistols up against them. There are a few Desert Eagles sprinkled in. But there's also a newfound confidence from some of these Spirit pieces, notably Tanir. Comes out of that first half with barely any frags, now finds himself with the most kills on Team Spirit. And a quad kill in that pistol sure as hell helps.
Quad kill on a rifle as well.
Shiro about to be faced by pistols trying to go through. He'll give him a little room, but the one that does slip the net is instantly killed by Magix. And it is not looking like a real chance at this plant. The bomb trying to get by this Oppers, managed to get within the zone. Utility to be thrown forward, but that's at least a bit of money here for the Falcons. Unfortunately for them, Desert Eagles never connected. Shiro's here with the cleanup, says, you want to fight with pistols? Sounds good to me. He gets his quad kill. And so multi-kill potential from top to bottom coming out of Spirit as they extend to 10-8.
Also seeing them win the right rounds, and Falcons having to save up a lot. This lead kind of becomes firm now here for Spirit. We saw an excellent first rifle out of Falcons to go for their cap play. Again, it was one simple flash. But now we've got Kerrigan in the kitchen. He's going to come up with something that's going to be a little bit more complicated. He's very good at covering his tracks, building off of previous rounds, evolving the T-side game plan to get a slightly bit more complicated as the rounds progress. I guarantee you there will be no more simple contact explodes just every single round.
Met by flames and smoke in front of that.
Wow, they
fast
found it.
mid-play. This is exactly what they needed. Donk could be caught off. No, here's Kerrigan coming. Still Kerrigan gets the headshot. Tess has to clear out the corner, means that B-side's prime for the taking. But you've already got Tenier on a fast response again. What they don't know about is Monte.
Yeah, up on catwalk. There's still someone waiting. The thing is, he's got damaged.
Shiro.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Backs up into it.
That's for free.
Monte finds the freebie. And this is just going to prioritize Spirit, trying to push out through that tunnel exit. They flash Nico momentarily. He regains vision. Tess now wounded. Tenier's about to go.
What?
Monte
dies
through the doorway. Takes a peek that costs him. Tenier wants more. 2 players left, and it's Nico to spell the difference.
Ooh, gets
Falcons
ugly.
Respond.
Yeah, they do. Big time. Fast mid B play. No one holding on to it from the B doors. It's early. No time for rotations here for Spirit. Correct read for Falcons.
And Kerrigan barely got away with it, but slams that headshot on Donk.
Yeah, that's true. Magic's got the trade right after, but that was really on Donk to nail that trade.
Double ops. Monte better remain cautious because he's got Donk with an op on the field.
Listen, Donk rarely ops, but he also rarely misses with his op. It's still actually a real weapon for him.
You know, it's been a lot of Tenier play off this catwalk.
He's the guy who got an op ace at Budapest.
But Kyosuke just utilizes the right amount of caution. And that AWP boost disassembled at 1:20. Hasn't fired. It's not like they're going to think about it. So the secondary op both now on middle. Let's see if they can trade out Monte or whether a trade is even needed. Shiro's right here with Donk. Double op set up on mid.
A second op, man, the fact that they're following each other is so different.
Donk first, Shiro second. That's what it was looking to be. But as Donk gets over, unspotted, they are going to leave a vacancy towards middle and just try to throw Donk's op over on B.
Now on the one side, you get a little bit less support. Shiro can't be breaking open smokes and fighting as actively. Unless he takes a first kill early, it's going to get a little scary for the B players.
Does it come his way?
He's playing active. Shot through the door.
Well done to at least wound Kyosuke. Middle will not be as free as Falcons found it last round, but Kerrigan does still lead this charge with bomb.
He wants to call this bluff. Kerrigan's not worried about that molly.
Donk looking to help out tunnels. Kerrigan does get clipped. Now they know about Donk on and off, but we'll see what kind of pressure they apply. Last time, we had Zontix died with nothing. This time, he hangs on. Tess and Monte respond. Donk is still inside of this fight. That AWP looks good.
He's got more!
It looks real good.
We never have to talk about Donk as versatile, but he has that op in the bag. That's quite a sequence from a guy who does this part-time.
Just a hobby. Falcons will trail by 2 again, and that round leaves Falcons strapped for cash. An awkward one here. Zonic takes this timeout he wants in. Still yet to string together any consecutive rounds on this T side are Falcons. So you've got to figure it out, and you've got to figure it out now.
Problem is, with that round, the next one that you're going to give up, that's a question. A half buy earlier here for Falcons. They're going to try it again. I mean, Spirit are obviously liable to lose a round like this, and the two ops, well, they can be a liability. Again, can be nice versus walkouts, but not always versus a half-buying team. Already denying all the information that Falcons want to save for themselves. That molly will help Shiro.
Kerrigan walks wide. Nico sails beyond that frag grenade, and Tonk's gonna rattle off an ops shot, so they hear it.
This is about Falcons. Get as much space as you can without getting spotted.
Tontik's leaning all the way back on platform, has Donk to also play off him. No pounce while they play around with utility.
They're paranoid to write the right thing. Magic's already making the lead.
Tontik still, smoke in hand. Numbers look appropriate for the situation. We get that lurk smoke at the end of the tunnels. But what will be behind it? Zontix has this nade. He could place it for damage.
How's that arm?
He could expose them standing in the pipe. Perfection with that double mow down. Add to it, the Kerrigan dies towards middle with nothing, and Donk is here to support you. It is confidence inside this B site. And a staved off pistol buy from Falcons. You will find nothing.
And it seems like a small win to win that half buy. Trust me, that could have been converted. Falcons did about 70% of what they were trying to look for was really get past a lot of the info that Spirit were trying to gather, and they were doing so very proactively to give themselves a chance at a B split that Spirit don't know about. But Magix, he made the rotation correctly to support the op and the rifle. And the second op persists.
Two separate halves now. We've seen an evolution from Spirit. Not the first team to wield two ops, but putting it to perfection. Losing the duel though versus Odyssey.
He said, look who's faster.
I like that Magix instantly picks that bad boy right back up, so still a double op for Spirit.
Odyssey with the quickness. Wins one straight up to defend their hopes of winning this game. Mid-Bs have been the apple of Kerrigan's eye so far. And it's also something that Spirit know that they always try to get. So, again, in an active covering his tracks, there's a lurk in place, but it's not necessarily the full take. Nico will walk through this.
Zontix on the other side, to near head tucked on A.
And that smoke's gonna get phased. He will walk through.
Ooh, but it's all about the timing.
Oh.
He'll take a bit of damage.
Now
Zontix comes out with the kill. It's gonna be Tanir. Yet again, rock solid throughout this CT side. Donk's looking for an op kill. Modesty's got the better of him, and it's Tess has to open that bomb site for the plant. Man advantage momentarily. Zontix quick to the scene. With a kill to his name already over Nico, he may have just gone unnoticed. What sort of timing can he pull off here?
Oh, they gotta make sure the communication's good. Keep an eye on this.
Tess has low HP, easy pickings. Exposed Kyosuke, holds on for that one. And you've got the two best performing players for Falcons still alive, and Magix wants none of this.
They have a decent amount of money, but he's gonna keep the op in play. It's Modesty to actually take out both of the double op setup here from Spirit. Out-dueling Shiro, taking out Donk as they go towards the A site. That puts him on 20, gives Falcons 10. So again, the idea is very simple, but it builds off of what we've seen out of Falcons so far. Their affinity for the B splits. The double smokes out middle just to make sure that nobody moves, or best case, somebody comes from CT over towards B. Babushka Kerrigan.
That's if Falcons didn't give him a call. Luckily, there's nowhere he'd rather be, and I don't think anywhere anybody would rather have him.
When they played against FURIA, as a, name another IGL that could have got one kill every 4 rounds, because that was about his KD and still win. And he said in the interview recently, there's a lot of microing that he has to do, in playoffs, it's still working, but he's sacrificing a lot to make sure that all of his other pieces are being successful, and that might just sound like chatter if he didn't actually turn it into results. And they won the hardest game of the event so far. So many moments where FURIA could have closed it, but Falcons came up clutch, which was a story we didn't know would take place. There were no guarantees.
Falcons have 6 one-off round wins since the 4-0 start. This would be the first time they win 2 in a row since they started this game on the right foot. And if Team Spirit can stave that off and end it now, 13-10, it'll be a real testament to Falcons and the difficulty they'll have at stringing moments together as this Grand Finals goes on.
How confident does Kerrigan feel about this round? That's what I want to know, because even though they got the 5v4 in that previous round, they almost got shut down on Cat. It almost was a 2K hold and retake.
Good flash.
That's perfect.
Great entry.
Kyosuke gets one as well.
All Shiro now.
It's all up to him.
Looking for separate duels, but the flashbang connects. Perfect utility there out of the Falcons. As you blind Tinier behind the door, let Kyosuke off the chain. And on top of that, just end the offer of Team Spirit right there in the mud. This is Kerrigan to plant and Falcons to push us to 24.
Spirit had no idea exactly what Falcons were going to try to do, but the positions they had, as we can see the X's on the mini-map, I think they were quite content in the case that it became an A play. But they don't go for the flash for the corner peek. They go for the flash to make sure anybody holding on that side of the doors was dead. It's, again, a good read. They really didn't sacrifice anything to make this round possible. And Donk's impact this game has been dubious. Obviously, he started 0-6, he's 13-14 now, but we have seen so many 2K entries and holds out of him. I think his impact goes beyond those two numbers for the moment. But now that we're in round 24, it's all up for grabs.
I can't help but wonder what version of Donk we get in this final round of regulation. We've seen him unleashed, we've seen him op, we've seen him look reserved. No real shortcomings for Spirit barring Magic's MP9. Feeling like a fair fight to finish off round 24. And we get early attention for Falcons poised towards this
so
site.
active for a walkout, so active for a walkout, exactly what they're looking for.
Just 2 rifles lined up. They see that utility coming, they give up the line, and Donk is gonna go down with nothing. Sawtix makes up for that.
Somehow with 2, but now it must be a retake.
And it's gonna be Kerrigan himself to try to stave off the rotate. Instant headshot. Tinier and Shiro looking for the trades. Kerrigan's got himself 2. But leave it to Shiro, of course, in a clutch to put things back in question as the bomb remained outside of tunnels the entire time.
There's a little bit too much time to think. Why isn't the bomb getting planted? Are they late with it? Do I have a chance to interrupt this? Shiro, whose clutch stats were at a low last year, who's brought them up for this event, will go for this.
Waiting and waiting for somebody to misstep. Tessa starts to stomp, that's the distraction. Window swing queued up, but he doesn't go. They pitch, and we need OT.
This was the round they were looking for at Shanghai to make the comeback. I say they like it's FaZe Clan. But again, Kerrigan bullshit here. Match pause going into overtime. Anyone's game. And I think a lot left on the table. Probably some nerves on the table. Not everybody having the stellar performance you could expect. On the one hand, Spirit give up this win right away in regulation to Falcons. But on the other, they started the first 4 rounds with 1 kill. So they might still feel comfortable. But 2 guys who have had consistent impact in every map of this event.
How blessed are all of we to watch these 2 players touch Counter-Strike?
Oh yeah, I mean, somehow you want to say generational talent, and it feels like they both are and exist in the same generation.
Yes! What a Spirit! Fucking nice counter, man. That's good, boys. I told you, smile! It's a cinema.
Smile.
That's
It's a
good, boys.
cinema.
Someone yells at you to smile. They're happy.
It really is something Kerrigan brings to his team as a leader. Just enjoy the moment, because he's been very, very clear that he has no idea how long these moments will last, and there's nothing he loves more than playing this game on these sorts of stages in front of these sorts of crowds. Astana! Make some noise! Overtime in our first map of a best of 5. Blessed.
Footsteps over top of Cat, trying to elicit some utility. Kerrigan not willing to take any kind of further risk, but even just drawing out a little utility, especially versus a Cat play, sometimes in a default. While you're trying to cover your tracks, you're trying to do a first tier exec to see what the other team has, what the setup is. Versus Cat, they've got to make sure the mollies can't come down, the nades can't punch them as they're trying to cross.
Close play from Donk though, right? On the other side of this smoke.
Big setup position to get that kill.
He knows with certainty there's players on the other side of this, and then Tanir again.
A spray transfer.
So much value out of these mid flanks. Tanir has been able to expose. Kerrigan's gonna find an open route. Monacy's in the middle of all these smokes.
It's a crazy move. They don't know where he's gone.
What's going on? Bomb's outside. Bomb is here, underneath the feet of Donk, and then at the same time, Kerrigan gets that kill from inside CT spawn. But Donk has got what Falcons want.
They're sharing a wall, don't know their neighbors. And
Another!
Kerrigan, he keeps going.
3 kills from Finn himself, but Donk atop your bomb, 20 on the clock. You can't run from him now. You've got to try to hunt him down, and he will kill the first one with ease. It's Monacy's off postured, trying to sit on top of that Xbox. They know they've got this fight locked in.
He can't escape.
But who runs from who? Donk escapes. He's got it now. He's just going to run for the hills.
The first time you've ever seen Donk run away.
Just flee the scene. The chase is on. Final second. All his.
When have you ever seen Donk run away? And how often do you ever see him in a clutch? A 1-on-3.
The amount of individual moments in this round.
It was a puzzle for him to figure out how he could even get across this door, knowing Monacy's on the other side waiting for him.
Tanir flank top mid. Kerrigan cat drop into the CT play. A Donk push through smoke, pathing right under Monacy's nose, and a 1v3 clutch to close that.
I thought that there was no chance that that happened, but the flash on his waistband and perfect awareness of the time on the clock and the space he could get away with. Showing that he's not just all brawn.
Donk's got a double.
Oh, now he's angry.
Yeah. You don't have him running for the hills. You have him sinking his feet into the sand and locking down the middle portion of the map. All Zontix has to do is cut down this bomb. He'll do exactly that. And Nico, his second victim in this one. A chance for Monacy to clutch, but the pressure's on, and that consistency in the top mid flank spells disaster. Spirit gun for a flawless CT side in overtime.
They don't look to waste that round. They turn it into back-to-back situations. The full split gets completely countered. They have the long push as a checkmate move out of Tanir. He's still top fragging here for Spirit. And Spirit have a chance to sweep this first OT half. The money is a problem for Falcons. No op for Monacy. 2 pistols between Tesses and Kerrigan.
layers coming out for Spirit now. Util already facing this Falcons approach.
He's timed these well.
That nade to perfection. Kyosuke's lucky to be up.
Yeah, like a slug moving through that. That was a Hail Mary attempt. It looks like a force by the way that they just tried a caterpillar up cat together. And they eat the util damage together. They get spotted together.
They're going to be desperate to get something here in overtime. Their hand forced to keep up this presence towards the catwalk. But you can see what Nico's queuing up. He wants to join forces as Donk looks to dodge util, turn back in. Donk is dead this time. Magic's and Zontic still with the pinch. It is all m0NESY once more, but Tanir has got his number again and again and again with these mid flanks. Time to perfection, played to perfection was this overtime from Spirit so far.
It almost feels like the amount of map control that Falcons had throughout this overtime was given to them by Spirit. They pulled off that long flank, which is the ultimate sign of confidence that they know what's going on. You don't take that risk unless you're confident that the cat play is coming, or the mid B, or the tunnels walk out. They made sure that they used Tanir to his fullest extent, because if you leave that long guy there too long and he doesn't flank, he can sometimes just be too long of a rotation to stop this. Falcons have to win 3 rounds in a row for another overtime.
They're just going to charge down through long doors, and Nico's got only the one.
It's the spin around!
What a turn! Donk just whips it, and Falcons, with heads left spinning, still don't have anything to clamp down on here towards long. A potential fight between Shiro and m0NESY, but m0NESY's gonna miss a shot, and right now you shouldn't be missing versus this version of Donk. You've got that AWP trained on you if you're m0NESY, and still more support with that bomb on the edge of long.
Crazy move, going back. The car could have escaped. Know that he had Shiro pinned to that location. They might forget about him, but m0NESY, you can't miss again.
During all that action, we also lost the CT over towards middle. m0NESY will not have many chances once this smoke fades. Gets Shiro, doesn't know. Magix cleans up that bomb site, and he will be looking to put that bomb down in front of Zontix.
The guy we haven't talked about has to come in to defend their hopes of Dust 2. They work so hard in regulation to get this chance to fight against Spirit and close out on their favorite map.
Wasting no time, he sprints the entire distance and dead! In a moment's notice, in a mere 4 rounds, Tanir smears Falcons in overtime, and Donk levels up as that game goes on. We were worried out the gate, but evolution is the name of the game when we discuss this version of Team Spirit, and we saw it within the very first map of this Grand Finals.
Falcons, it was a weird game because we had a slow OT of calling out of Kerrigan. We had a good start from m0NESY, but a bad finish. We had a Nico that wasn't in full form, and they had a 6-0 start. So there are things that are left on the table. Spirit could punish here and make it a 2-0. If they do, we might not have a series. Falcons must respond.
Spirit looking to trade in Falcons series for another bit of silverware. The all-elusive trophies. For an organization that has tasted victory, trying to get back to the top of that mountain. And right now, it's Falcons setting their eyes on this A site. Map 2 underway. And as they cross over towards this bench, oh, it's a little labored. Donk actually not able to catch his headshot. Tanir tries to go in for a little more, and that is what opens the door for Falcons to answer back. 3v3, you know you've got these duels queued up, and so Nico's got one as well. These 3 players alive for Falcons have each established a kill themselves.
These are floating. They want to fight, and Nico will find it. And that should be the one that seals it up. Magix doesn't have a way in and a way to reclaim CT as well. So he'll walk away from this, another pistol round start for Falcons.
Talked about the strong start on Dust 2, the 4-0 kickoff, the 5-1 score that was.
And listen, even if you don't close the game, at least you have the strong start. You'll always take that. So it's kind of about continuing with those wins they had early on. And you know, the weird part was the fact that calling for Falcons, we talked about with Spirit, they oversimplified to just get back in the groove in the beginning. Well, Falcons oversimplified as the game got deeper, and that's not something you normally see with Kerrigan's calling. So there might have been a little bit of faith lost in what was happening, and if things were getting too difficult, even though they staged a full comeback. It's a quizzical moment, honestly.
There's a world where maybe even Kerrigan kind of had too much self-doubt, thought maybe he didn't have his finger on the pulse of the game.
You don't want to put too much into it because it's overtime versus the team who is more ready, has more. Falcons come in with 8 days of preparation. So the team that goes into overtime, who's been together practicing, playing tournaments, obviously you expect them to shine there.
Go MP9s to the top of middle. 4 SMGs in this round for Spirit. Trying to get this force buy underway. They'll take that fast clash to top mid, looking to usurp Falcon's start. Yeah, Kerrigan, I don't think he believes it. He knows somebody's in there. Donk dies for those efforts. But at that same time, Zontix robs one away with his MP9. Still, there's movement here from Spirit. We take that look towards ramp. He just goes to the other side of it.
Yeah, some blood has been spilled on this round, so Falcons will have to reassess the situation.
Shiro's got an open line.
This would be one hell of a flick.
No smoke either here for Falcons. That scout's gonna be a looming threat. Excuse me. There it goes. Just the right piece of util to now push the pressure onto Magix. In contrast,
No splash.
separates the first one from the rest of the pack, but Nico's trade's good. Remember, Zontix was low from this earlier engagement over on that A site, and he is nowhere to be found. And Shiro has had a couple of chances to hit some scout shots.
And that's a
Times
tag.
the charm. A little bit of damage, just a bit of damage, could really now just let him bank on Zontix being able to come through with impact. So he'll give a little space back over.
Nico's trying to keep an eye up on this flank, but it doesn't necessarily mean he can watch it the whole time.
Honestly, leans far back.
He's playing an interesting spot where, Van might get cleared and no one's there.
Zontix is looking for Nico, but he's just hoping to go unnoticed. It's going to take a hard clear from above him. Nico actually pushing off from beyond that wall.
He actually didn't see
That is just beautiful timing, isn't it? It falls on the scout to pull this off. And remember, no kit at 10 seconds. This round's a foregone conclusion. It's just about the cost, and that part is effective. Shiro gonna topple Nico, but it was Nico to reopen this round with a kill on Catwalk, to push into the B site, and Monte makes sure that he just gives him something to think about. Make sure that the next one is nothing but pistols for Spirit.
Yeah, it's a lovely start for sure for Nico. Good trades in a 3v3 with mid control, and you've got all the great guns. Sounds like a decent situation to be in, except there was still a clamp down on mid. There was still Magix on Cat. They decide also not to go in with a flash to try to take over B site control, so there was a risk of him getting a multi-frag from that up-close position. Falcons survive it. We've got a little bit of utility coming into this round, a couple of upgraded pistols, but not much else.
Makes sense knowing how low Falcons were when they closed out last round. Try to keep this game cost effective. Not wasting a moment now. Kyosuke smoked off from the connector play, just making sure that what he can see is clear for the taking. Sometimes a dangerous game to go up into window with a better weapon than a pistol that could be pressed into you. Maybe they really think there's no threat in this, but a 5.7, a Desert Eagle shot, all of a sudden Spirit could find themselves with hands on this AK. Kyosuke at least dropping one, but yes, gets overwhelmed. Look how perfect this is, and look who you give it to.
It's kind of scary. You give Donk his weapon.
He's playing with Kevlar.
Oh, that's the bomb gets dropped.
Oh God, this round's starting to fall apart. Donkey is just frothing at the thought to swing out wide with this rifle, but it does get put back down.
They still have to go get it from Cat. The bomb is not in a great spot. It was spotted as well. They can go ahead and take over a site control, but there are bigger fish to fry at the moment here for Falcons. I don't even care that Spirit have pistols. It's Falcons who are the ones that are scared. They don't know where these players are flanking, and they don't know if it's better to go B, where the bomb is leaning to, or to jump off Cat and make it towards A, where there's still one more guy potentially.
We'll find out what they think. Step 1, grab that bomb. Step 2, make your decision and make it now. 5-7 flank activates. That's going to confirm. Shiro's going to have his hands full. Beautiful first shot. Falls on Nico. It's a little bit labored. He takes further damage.
18 health.
Oh, he's going to jump.
No,
he makes it over. The nade doesn't find him, but now he's got to try to find a chance to plant. 6 seconds. Another peek. Just the minimal bit of cover, and you could never ask for that to go well because he has to commit to this plan.
Tanir trying to intercept that with the HE was insane. He was right that the clear had to happen with the amount of time left on the clock, but that was almost certainly getting planted default, and Nico would have 100% died. Either way, he juggled his presence well and made him impossible to sort of, have to worry about a post-plant situation. So they give Donk an AK, it only ends up being 1 kill. This is more of a team effort, and just working stuff out of Spirit. Last round was also very competitive, so a minimal investment and a round win because of it.
One Galil for Kyosuke. Meant to be the star, shut down with nothing, thanks to Zontix. Oh, and a team kill.
Yeah, that helped a little bit.
You get this ramp walkout. Nice and easy goes the rest of Falcons into the night. Damage racked up, but Team Spirit looking very tenacious. In terms of taking this top middle fight, we saw it with the MP9, MP7 force buy in round 2 they tried to get going. Just looking to press into Falcons, this time the distance with that M4, and we get a tied game only 4 rounds into this.
Last time they played up against Falcons on this map, they crushed them. And they have a very strong Mirage, but that goes both ways, and that's why this veto is actually really interesting. And fun. We've got the brawly maps up front.
And we have no overpass, and we have no Inferno. Couldn't have really
Let's do this every day.
Just gonna try to flush this bomb into the B site for some money. Spirit gonna know that nade hit hard. You see the scramble already coming through. Falcons know that they've got to just go with tempo, and that's gonna get denied. It's money not made for Falcons, and extra cash stuffed in Magix's pockets. Glock of Nico dead, you'll find nothing. Rock solid out of Magix. That frag grenade gives him all the info he needs. Falcons losing a lead, 3-2 Spirit early on the CT side.
A total bounce back and a little bit of frustration here for Falcons. Now I have no doubt, just because they lost one map in a best of 5 grand final, that there's lots of energy left over. This T side is not even close to finish. There won't be an op in play here on round 6. And honestly, utility is not that heavy.
Here we go, all in. Falcons try to play with electricity, and Donks regain vision. He's gonna blindside Nico, collect SS's head, and this one is getting shredded. Wow. Total stoppage on that A-ramp, a 1v5 attempt for Monte, 2 kills in at least. But that is not what Falcons had visualized when they came running up that ramp.
Damn, that is an insanely scrimmy call to make. There's no molly under Balk. Obviously, this entire thing's running. They're just lamp flashing out of ramp. And because Donk is sitting there, he's happy. He's got a perfect line to get his 2 kills. Every round's played like that, and Spirit, they're gonna be smiling from ear to ear.
Made so much more comfortable for Donk in the fact that he wasn't blind once he got his duels, right? There was a moment there where he ate one. For a second, maybe you could have closed that gap, but you don't get the duel on Donk while he's blind. And I mean the millisecond this guy's got his vision back, the chances of that A commitment actually sticking disappear, and you see it.
I think they came into that round with no mollies to work with, expecting the A site to be understaffed.
Wrong. Some Desert Eagles across the field for Falcons. Kyosuke is going to collect Donk's head. That's a great first kill to find as far as Falcons are concerned. Because unlike back on Dust 2, you don't get the, 0-6 Donk start? Sure, 6 deaths again, but he is being a part of these moments, and you can see his confidence brimming over in a round like this where he just goes for the underpass plays.
Still the single scariest thing on Mirage.
The scariest thing about Mirage is the thought of them taking it out of the map pool.
They'll never do that.
Engineer's gonna collect here as these Desert Eagles leave a lot to be desired. Spirit looking comfortable for a 4-rifle save. They would love to get their hands on this, right? Again, odds of just racking up costs versus Spirit increase significantly now that Kyosuke was meant to have grabbed that AK. He just walks right over it.
Okay, and nobody wants it. That's totally fine.
Sure.
That's interesting.
They'll leave it down there at the bottom of middle. And the Desert Eagle of Kyosuke gets nothing for his efforts. That walk around through the jungle. It's all shut down yet again. 4 players up for Spirit, looking real comfortable here on Mirage.
Well, that is strange because they know exactly where Donk died. And I don't think that they would have expected that gun to be thrown away. So we go into another buy. Now the last round, it's not like they threw Monte with an up, everybody with full utility and said, let's go up A ramp. They came in with AKs. They had a smoke, a couple of flashes, and they said, we need to try to do something light, because if you do a default, we'll get outdone by the utility. We see all the Molotovs for the team that has so much money. But now on a round like this, we're seeing the MONTE op come into play. I'm not saying it needs to be more complicated, but I'm expecting it to be more drawn out.
Be a real shocker to see Falcons not try to get away from that last round.
Kerrigan's known for his defaults. And on very little days of prep, at least they've got Mirage.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, the 13-4 beating that went down the last time these teams faced.
Kerrigan didn't see it, though.
True.
He didn't see it.
What about everybody else?
They didn't tell him about it.
Keep the old man's blinders on.
We'll see if this is going to be a call an ambulance, but not for me moment for the Falcons.
Gonna press in. Tess's just moved his crosshair off that. Ooh. Was ready for that since the start of this round, and now Shiro's not gonna know there's a player tucked in close right,
He's not thinking about that at all. He'd be way farther back.
We'll see what Nico can do about it. Catching Shiro by surprise. Oh, and a back turn.
Oh, a no-scope.
That's a great little Hail Mary moment for Shiro. Under pressure to at least reclaim something. He does so, but bomb is also spotted as Kyosuke collects that trade frag. And they're not worried about the bomb site yet. They're more concerned about somebody climbing up from middle, and that is not the case. Falcons have MONTE over there, but not close enough to help these players on the site.
They need to stay fully focused in this spot, because the CTs are going to just look for any little advantage they can get. It's late in the round. Someone could peek from any of these 3 choke points.
Oh, Dawn comes through.
And they do.
Yeah, Magix takes the first one off of Ticket. MONTE to be preoccupied with Catwalk. And on top of that, well, it's going to be difficult for him to ever emerge out through Connector, especially as the bomb's 2 seconds from being defused already. Down goes the op. Down goes Falcons as Spirit roar to a 6-2 lead.
Yeah, this is looking a little too easy for Spirit. After what we saw in Dust 2, we were left impressed by what Falcons could do, because we had no idea if they'd be able to stand up to the challenge. And it looked like they passed the test, even if they lose in overtime. The fact that it was a comeback after dropping a lead. But we're not seeing a convincing T-side.
What we're watching is Falcons trying to scramble back into this first half. The guns are at least flowing for them, and they will try to send them back towards middle once more. Zontix wasn't given the space to go into that mid-peak where he has netted multi-frags before. But Donk being burned by that molly is going to take attention. You see that spray through from Kerrigan.
Oh my goodness,
Donk
that clear.
Nothing is an invitation. It says, you want to fight? Come and get it.
Damn, now that's that crossfire for the ages.
Zontix tagged down to 50 health, but it is all of the Falcons on the ground again. The bomb thrown out into the cat once more. This is a Falcons that can do nothing in the face of Team Spirit.
Yeah, they're left gobsmacked here. They just wanted to go for some fights here inside of middle. Maybe separate a 1v1. No, Donk was ready to fight behind a Molotov. They were hoping to isolate Zontix on Cat. Instead, they got it from both ends. And they weren't into it. Nico will have a lot of time to think here up in Palace, because there's no chance that he can win this round. And we continue with more simple ideas. Now, we don't really see what that round could have flourished into if some trades went down and it became a 3v3. And maybe that's what Kerrigan's looking for, a chance to get creative with a team, because in the mid-round, it really comes down to how smart your individuals are. But from a setup perspective, Spirit dropped a nade on Kerrigan as that default took place. They had the crossfire. They knew when to disrespect utility that Falcons were going for. And while Falcons are still 4/5 of the same team, they come in with a guy who's taking over all the ideas. There will be growing pains.
We saw growing pains out of the gate for Falcons here in Astana. We thought maybe they had a chance to shake them off, but maybe it's not just that linear improvement that Falcons were hoping to tap into come this grand finals. Five maps of action in this best of 5. Right now, this second one feeling much more flat than Dust 2 did. Spirit showing that their evolutions are not to be toyed with. And that this map pick from Falcons
what is that?
can still be taken over at a moment's notice. When Donk decides to do what he wants, it will cost Falcons players every step of the way. They go down into the 4v5. They are at least able to reclaim that AK. Nico never really had a chance. As Donk, unorthodox peek into underpass, catches him entirely off guard. So now it's Kyosuke's turn with the rifle to try to make something happen. TeSeS over towards this B site. It's got the door frame to keep him protected. He doesn't want a piece of Magix by the looks of it. We go to 50 seconds, and that bomb looking to join forces, looking to group back up alongside the rifle. There is a singular flashbang for Falcons to try to catch Spirit off guard. We saw them win rounds with less on Dust 2. Here it comes, a Hail Mary moment as they try to fly down through this B site, and it is Magix to lock it in for the first 2, but there is also an answer. Falcons have put their hands on another gun. Kerrigan separated from the bomb. They've at least got that money made.
Why don't we call this a must-win round for Falcons? Not a lot of health here for Monte, but great positions. And Tanir, instant execution.
This guy is tapping into some real potential tonight. Monte's 29 health, looks to time it. Shiro's head popped, Tanir on the chase. A 1v1 now as Monte brings him back to that site, but there is no hesitation, no missed opportunity at the hands of Tanir.
They're ice cold in all these moments. They've got perfect confidence. They've already achieved their quota. They got 8 on the CT side. We know how Falcons are going to be happy to switch over, but not with a maximum of 4 rounds. Those not even guaranteed.
It was so impressive watching Tanir find his groove back on Dust 2, right? Those constant long flanks, his timings. I haven't seen Tanir make a move that makes it feel like he's second guessing himself.
No, we thought the major coming up is going to be interesting if this Falcons project is successful with Kerrigan. Well, for Spirit, in terms of being a contender, it's interesting if Tanir can be the final piece of the puzzle. And if his maturation is complete, because we've also seen his potential. We understand why Spirit took a chance on him.
We've seen that with multiple new pieces added to this Team Spirit roster. Zway didn't work, gets replaced. Tanir looking shaky as well for as long as it did. And we wondered whether it would be a player that gets the boot or whether we get a change up in, say, the coaches. This new and improved Team Spirit is starting to feel like too much for Falcons to keep up with, at least on 8 days' notice. But try and try again. They'll throw somebody through that window, and Donk has been here every time.
Dude, he's been watching this. Yeah, it's an early window timing. There's nothing to cover it up. There's no pressure anywhere else on the map. Just hoping he's not looking.
Kerrigan tries to draw everybody back to join forces. They're going to go numbers strong.
Yeah,
the last time they hit me, it did look good.
That's true, and that might be what they're thinking. You see the structure completely vanish in favor of one simple idea. You start to think, do they have outs? They do have this lurk at the top of middle. Yeah, and Kerrigan looks to make this a little bit more interesting.
Players added to it, but it feels like Spirit's still getting wind of what's going on. We see that lean from Donk through the marketplace. You would hope that Falcons...
They won't pull a single rotation.
Donk does second guess it just as the cross comes through, but Magix has been rock solid, and he's got that support from Zontix. Monte tagged down to 7, now he just wants to leave, but it's already TeSeS committed to this, and Monte's departure will be chased down, and if he dies after time, This would be an extra bit of disaster.
Oh, they're running for him.
Running for the hills.
From
He's got
everywhere.
6 seconds to survive. Magix will try to sprint him down. It's going to be close. 2 left. Here's
Just
the
don't
peak.
miss.
And he'll find both those shots. Odyssey with a Hail Mary hold will at least get his op, but that is the slimmest of silver linings we could look to give Falcons as they move into this last round of their attack.
Yeah, that's literally it. He'll keep it for one more chance, but we need to see the impact, man. Monte at the beginning of Dust 2, he was really at the front of the pack, getting lots of kills. CT side was going his way, and his scoreline stayed good the whole time, but the impact started to miss a little bit. Shots were less consistent. Kerrigan was doing a great job on the CT side of putting him in a new spot every single CT round. So we credited him for getting those kills. There is that impact.
That's what happens with the op not denied. 5v4 to Falcons. Every time you think you see a warning for Donk, like that spam Kerrigan tried to get him by the window, just kind of opens him up to go for a fight. And this time Kerrigan just sprints, runs for the hills, looks to get away from this. It is drawing this lean from Spirit into the connector slash window hold. And within that movement, as we see Shiro double back towards Ticket, it's gonna be Tanir top stairs.
The op slow.
Blindside's one. Magix on that secondary op has picked a player off of the B side. So you've got an op on retake. 2 of the 3 remaining playing with snipers. And Monte's gonna know this.
Now they're gonna give him the middle of the site. Kyosuke's got connector control, which is something very nice for this post plant, but Monte will have to be the star of the show.
Nade goes over top from Ticket. We've got smoke grenades to cover that bomb. And Magix hangs on to the angle that now pushes Kyosuke into a 1 versus 3 clutch. We'll see if they can figure this out, whether he can catch them off guard, maybe line up some bodies, but on top of the utility, it's made all the more difficult, and it seems to know like they have him pinned in with him revealing himself to the Magix frag. Soon there's gonna be
How'd he find that?
That bomb's got 10 seconds left and no defuse just yet. Shiro trying to find him. He's got to go for the peak. 6 on the clock. Shiro gets denied. It is a pistol, and 1 for the road is the 3rd for Falcons. Kyosuke draws them into him and will give Falcons at least the slightest hope.
That was not an easy situation to distill a heroic effort there, and actually one that results in the round winning. That's huge for Falcons, and a chance for them actually on CT side. Massive amount of leverage found with this. We try to underscore Kyosuke's talents, but as he's joined the team, you know, the results, they've been consistent, but they haven't been resulting in actual tournament wins at stages in front of crowds like this. But so far this playoffs, he's definitely become the player that people expected him to be in his debut. Obviously, coming from Spirit Academy, getting compared to Donk right away. Like, you can't have a bigger shadow cast over you. Like, there is generational talent, and then there's Donk. You know, it's another level.
Nice, Maxime! Nice, man. This was fucking important round, man.
You do love to hear that again. Keeping hope alive. Suddenly the crowd wants Falcons.
The bomb site's vacant. Spirit are gonna get a plan. Feeling like a retake needed. Kerrigan does have a defuse kit for it, but here comes that fake util over top. 2 players committed to it still from Spirit. We're gonna get Shiro taking a look at the site. This is all a hoax. And on top of it, 5v4 for Kerrigan. I said they'd get the plan, but Kerrigan could have stopped this. He's got the kill to Donk. That's big. They're going to press into him, clear that up, and guarantee this bomb goes down. Zontic's already taking a look into the marketplace with a smoke on the window. That kit is dangerously close for the defuse.
They wish they could pick that up and throw it away, but Nico gets a kill. 4v2.
Another one picked up. That's inside of the apartments. So suddenly Tanir is eventually going to have to deal with that wrap through apps. Nico soon to be on the scene. Zontix pushes into the back of these 3. All of a sudden, Falcons starting to feel scrambled, but he goes down with nothing. And it is missed opportunities and a second pistol to come up Falcons.
Yeah, I had to double check that because they only got 3 rounds with a pistol, but now that they get both, they put themselves in an actual interesting spot. Lobster jam. Kerrigan's the answer to Donk, by the way, some of these situations. He can actually just straight up outduel him if there's no distractions.
Used to be a world where we talked about Nico as Donk's final boss.
Yeah, his history with Donk is excellent too in their head-to-head. Things haven't really changed on that front. The only question is Nico's form overall. But there is no question about Kyosuke's form overall. He was a heavy impact player back on Dust too. You guys are right, Falcons may be in business.
Where there's a will, there is a way. And we all know Kerrigan refuses to concede. It's about the rifles around him to prop up the chances. And if Kerrigan wants this to actually happen, well, he's gonna have his hands busy in a moment as well. That Galil in Magic's hands leads this walk up towards the abs. Kerrigan peeks in on perfect timing. He'll
Let it rip.
We get this Tenier MP7 rebuttal. Jumps down into the site, gets a second. Modesty off of the cat play. In that moment, make sure majority alive, all with rifles, and Falcons make this a 9-5 game.
Falcons didn't have enough to make that first half interesting. They just didn't have the depth. They didn't have the trading. All of Spirit's HEs kind of told the whole story. If you just watched those, you saw that Spirit were in the right place for every situation. But now that Spirit go over to the T side, obviously Kerrigan could look like he didn't have enough for the team on the attack. But now it's Magic's, another test for him, another T side to have to close out on. This game is not over.
The kind of damning first half that will have you pounding your desk if you get a misstep versus a buy like this from Spirit. Donk's not going to play in secrecy. He lets you know what he's up to. Desert Eagle on the other side of that B apartment smoke. Knowing the value, though, of even 1 or 2 kills in a round like this, Team Spirit will take their time. And also try out utility. Get Falcons to play their game. Maybe just kind of tabulating what Falcons are up to. Nico kind of freed up versus Pistols. Will die to the Tenier Tech 9. Kyosuke on for revenge. Winds up being the second victim. Tenier has 4 HP, 2 kills already, and Monte dinked to 44 health.
How is he hunting him down? He's got
See ya.
Knife in the smoke. It's like, get out of my window.
Extra money made. That'll make up for Kyosuke and Nico's deaths. There are rifles out here on the field for Shiro to try to grab, but he wants a headshot more than anything, and he will be denied by that one. Tess making sure majority survives again. 3-round game here on map 2.
See the small breath there from Monte as he looks over towards Nico. With the scoreline getting a touch closer. It sort of feels like it's about surviving right now. You don't really need to call impressive things. They know they don't have Spirit scared just yet, but this would be the round.
You get ops on both ends. That little bit of extra money made by the knife as well move forward in Monte's coffers. We had that early look at a Donk towards the B side of the last round. Right now it's Shiro posting his off over towards the B apps, hoping that maybe Kerrigan jumps up into the scope. That's not gonna happen, and he peels away from it early. This round is going to tell us a lot about what's to come and what can be done by Falcons on Mirage if there's anything at all to keep Spirit off double digits.
That's incredibly important for their money and their mental. I don't see a lot of players ending up saving in a round like this. Full press on the A ramp. It's a little different here for Falcons. Monte on the plate.
Versus Donk. Here it comes. Sees the shadow, misses his chance. Donk's gonna just chase you down. Sure, Zontix dies as he tries to get out through that palace. Now it's Donk's head taken off. Kyosuke's got the answer. So will Shiro. Numbers even. Support piece in place. There's also a battle of the flanks going down over towards B still. It's patience from Tanir, but he hits the ground. And Tesses right now has no helping hands. 30 seconds on this clock.
Bomb gets out. Magic's gonna make this marathon of a run all the way over to B. Hope that no one can cut him off in this situation. Hope that no one's taken over mid and pushed underpass. And Tanir has a chance to get a kill to lock this up. But if he doesn't clear this, there's a chance that Kerrigan swings default and Tanir sees it.
Done.
It's done.
Bullet to the back of the head. Timing missed there for the Falcons.
Oh.
Although Shiro will reopen the realm of possibility so long as Nico can do something in what is right now this 1v2 on B site. Magic's better stay in cover. Moving around is giving Nico a chance to get out. Oh, but blindsided. Magic's finds that perfect timing just as Tesses looks to come through, and it is Magic's with not only the perfect call to peel away from that A site, but also a couple of slick headshots to secure those double digits.
The fact they kept options open with a lurk towards B, sometimes that guy can come in, get off of Cat, and be the reason you win a post plan on the A site if it's on the back of triple. But in this situation, where there were 3 stacked up towards the A ramp, and that sandwich under bow crossfire, Spirit knew they made the wrong decision by going A and had a chance to change their mind. That's all the depth that we're looking for to turn losing positions into winning ones. Falcons had a big chance to take all the money away for Spirit and give themselves another anti-eco.
Over top of stairs. Luckily for them, Tesses holds off Palace. Nico's got to come up with something, but he gets that flash from Magic.
And that's another Magic flash.
Just keeps sprinkling in the perfect decision, the perfect play, and the headshots in that last round. Donk and Shiro making the most of the moment to secure this 11th for Spirit. You know where Tesses has got off to.
He flashed to CT and blinded default while Donk avoided it, covering everything. That one rests on such a fast timing. It needed to be perfect, and it was. He already got credit on the desk. It might give him a little bit more.
Feels well deserved. Just as you thought maybe Falcons had fight left in them, Spirit, thanks to Magic's, now lead by 5.
He can hold a mouse too. Terrible for Monte. This ends up being an early death for him. And right here, jumping, looking down, right past default, knowing the flashes are going overhead, and Nico eats it. It feels like he had a chance, but in reality, he never did.
What a ball of energy Donk can be. And how desperate Falcons must feel. 5 USPs in this one. 12th round for Spirit, guaranteed. A 2-0 right there for the taking. And we all know how unlikely best of 5 comebacks are. This will be Falcons hoping to get back into guns after this round. Hanging on for dear life.
And the crowd, they're loving the carnage. They just want more of it. Spirit won't have to split atoms to pilot this round to a win. Even with the B stack coming out, it's just so no pistol upgrades whatsoever. Good luck when your opponents have cat control.
Donk on the hunt in the MAC-10 first blood. Still the advantage. 2 kills to the 1 mag of MAC-10. Kerrigan's USP. Something, but we're gonna get that bomb moving back as the vacancy on A site's found. And Monte lingers just a bit longer. That's a USP dink. Look at these health bars and tell me, do you believe? Are you a madman?
Do I believe he's gonna, well, he's got an AK now. And they're all looking for him, which is kind of funny. Magic's ends up getting the kill with just a MAC-10 in his hand. The confidence out of Magic's. They managed to keep the man in the team and get a new IGL at the same time. It didn't seem like genius at first, but look how well that's aging. A 6-round game, and Spirit haven't even touched their timeouts. Zonic's got a lot to say in this one.
While Sopvik's thinking, hey, this job's not so hard. They had to take a knee in that last round. They had to forfeit a 12th to Team Spirit's scoreboard. But if Kerrigan hasn't made a career on these kinds of comebacks, in these kinds of high-pressure situations, then he would have never been destined for Team Falcons.
Let's see what they've got to offer. Out the gate, they're not worried about A. It's already really interesting. We've seen Spirit instantly go into a ramp play. Out of room. Contention if this becomes a later round. Spirit's default is ambiguous. They're looking for info. They've been very good at finding this opening kill. Falcons are clasping their hands and praying that they find the right timing.
Right
and
there.
Tanir looks to threaten this. If he pops up at all...
Right there. Gets dinked. Tanir lucky to be alive as Nico's M4 just can't find a second bullet to connect. And if he tries to walk out to the window, you just sign up for a duel versus Donk.
And he just doesn't believe anyone's back there. There's no support for him inside the window to take that peek.
Feeling the need like he's got to get it going. The desk had a lot to say about Nico versus Donk in middle. And we may have just gotten one of those head-to-heads for the road.
They won't even need this deep molly on Cat.
Honestly scrambled over towards this A site. A lot of responsibility right now on his own. His connector player just tucked into the corner. SS toying with the thought of something coming out through middle, but now we get this announcement from Team Spirit. Utility flies out the ramp. Magix has been cleared. That's step one for Falcons to rebuttal in round 19.
How has Tanir done this again? He's already on this full flank. They were waiting for him to get in this spot. Donk gets one, but everybody on the A site goes down.
Shiro walking through.
The flank. Must be him now.
Now Tanir activating alongside Shiro from the other side of this. They pull apart that setup. SS knows that Tanir's got to be low HP from that Nico headshot early. Second player spotted, turns in between. SS makes sure Mirage keeps rolling.
The unlikely hero here for Falcons. He pulls the clutch out, and they'll chug along. A 7th round here for Falcons, a close call. They hadn't gotten those kills as quickly as they did. Tanir's flank only would have become more potent. He would have loved to walk the whole way with the bomb plan down and site control to guarantee that round. And it becomes a 5-round game.
They lean away from playing in the site. They post Monte right there towards stairs. So it begins.
Not a worry in the world here for Spirit. Just one more chance with rifles and a little bit of extra money left over.
And really a round that could have actually just been a more comfortable moment for Falcons. Nico dying to Donk like that on his attempt to take down Tanir in middle after he had already departed. God, that could have been gut-wrenching for Falcons to die on Nico's sword. And it really did come down to Nico just writing off the thought that there were players over towards top mid.
And maybe, you know, him dropping oh, okay, Tessus, that's dangerous, man. He has to try to evacuate immediately. And they're gonna fight him the whole way through, but he might be able to make it. No, it's a punish. And it might be a game-ending punish.
It's another 5v4 moment. Falcons survived the last one round to go. Nico dead to Tanir. Taps over top of the cat bricks. The world lies on Monte's shoulders. And with that smoke soon to fade inside connector, he's got plenty of bodies on the left side. But
they're already by his scope.
Tanir is out. Tanir is out, but hasn't spotted it. Now Monte knows. But Tanir's so close. Nothing you can do about this. Kerrigan's late arrival out through jungle finds back turn.
No way.
A double. And at the same time, Kyosuke's already gotten a frag. We go 1v1.
Shiro, he'll pick the op up for the 1v1. Bomb gets planted. Kyosuke has to squeeze this.
Ops on the line. And dead in the water. Falcons plucked from the sky. And suddenly this shutdown on Mirage becomes a damnation for the Falcons in a best of 5. A massive comeback ask of a team with 8 days of practice. As to the high hopes they had when Dust 2 was rolling and they could sprinkle in a bit of magic and pull off those unorthodox wins, Mirage was an eye-opening experience for a Falcons that now have to battle back from the doldrums.
And as much as we're scared that we've seen it all before, we know that Kerrigan's been in this many finals, and they potentially have to make a historic comeback into it. Why not believe? Ancient is a map that they can play. They come in with a 4-map win streak. They have an outstanding T side, and it's actually where Spirit will start. This pick could be interesting.
Ooh, careful, TeSeS awkward. Pulls his smoke, guns back out. Kyosuke to try to recover. Burned out of there by Magix. Now it falls on Kerrigan. He's got smoke to try to work within. Donk just wants blood. And he's not able to find it immediately. Kerrigan able to peel back, keeps himself alive, which means we'll go 3v4 retake here for Falcons.
Already kicking off from the back foot. Falcons will lodge themselves into positions to try to go for peaks. But everyone's spread out, the most fundamentally sound positions possible. How will they figure this out?
Could be numbers to push inside of the cave. MONte tries to take the peak, Magix takes his head. Over towards the ramp, things go better, only momentarily. Kerrigan, the only one of those 3 to get a kill as Spirit take the first.
We get a first glimpse into this round, and immediately we have a Magix flash and a 3K. His performance as an individual and as an IGL has been outstanding. He continues to shine.
It's funny, isn't it, how Apex kind of propped up Magix and said, like, he could become something if he just has time.
Look how they doubted me.
Yes, sir. And look how Apex has become the king of utility in Counter-Strike 2. And watch tonight as Magix evolves in the same regard. That flash that Nico had to stomach back on the A side of Mirage had him pissed.
Now, speaking of IGLs, reading and flash impact. There's no better way to try to stop this with USPs than this one piece of utility.
Easy does it. Kyosuke done for. USP dinks suddenly start connecting way more than they should. Zontics is going to be worried. I mean, he's down to 13 health.
And they fall back to the back of default, and one Molly could get him out, but they've already used them.
Yeah, they'll throw a player over top of green, make it all the more comfortable. TeSeS actually killing Magix in the process, and look at the health here for Spirit. If there's anybody who believes, it comes from Kerrigan first and foremost.
Look at him smiling. I saw a sign in the crowd that we want a Kerrigan clutch. Well, this would be the ultimate one.
But it eludes him. They let Shiro take the duel. He was the one of the 3 with the most HP. And so while Spirit do kind of get taken aback by the sudden damage out of those pistols, Falcons are not able to upset in the second.
You can see as Kerrigan shakes in his chair just to get ready for this next round, where the buy's coming forward. He knows where this is where this match begins. Zontics on a Mac 10. And Magix only has a Tech 9. Why is that? Actually. They're buying like they just lost the last round. Shiro's got some left over.
It's a scary amount of confidence to have when Falcons, as you can see, M4s across the board.
Shiro could have dropped him. But obviously he's thinking about his op too.
Magic's just kind of twisted like that. We'll see if it's a decision that comes back to haunt Spirit, whether Falcons can get a foot in the door early. We'll put a pin in it.
Taking over mid early. Not seeing anyone push back into it. Does make the CTs insecure. We can see how they flow and start to gravitate towards mid because they definitely need to see something. They're going to go for a B lean and watch their backs. We've got Kyosuke kind of tied up, but ready to fight B.
TeSeS, as more utility trickles in, decides to double up inside of Cave. That'll leave Kyosuke with the responsibility of long in TeSeS's absence. Little wallbang attempt as we go down to a single flash here for Spirit. There it goes. Last piece of util. Now it's just guns up.
Oh.
And that gets Tanir into the headshot.
Whoa,
And they
when's
start
this
to
guy gonna
unravel.
stop?
And all of a sudden, Kerrigan pressure from both sides. I mean, could that have gone any better?
Come on, Tanir can do what Donk does sometimes. This is actually crazy. These few maps from him.
That flashbang to perfection.
Yeah, serious. And how many times are we gonna say that?
Starting to feel like all night long, or at least whatever's left of this evening.
You just don't love this setup inside of Cave. They have a feeling that it's gonna be a B play, but if you get set in Cave and a molly comes down, as it does on a lot of these B plays, your Cave players can't really fight back. They can wait for you to swing across default like we just saw from Tanir, but that's bonus money. If Tanir gets the first kill and he feels like, okay, we're low numbers or something, then he doesn't have to fight more. You can let them stay there. You can get that bomb planted. You've got back lanes control as well. But instead, that comes down to Kioske with no flash support himself, having to fight at an open line, and yeah, he's a confident, great multi-frag rifler in a solid position to do that. But again, versus a little bit of utility and players that are almost as good as him, there's absolutely no chance. Would have loved to see that default or that setup be a bit more audacious, to use one of those players to get in front, to draw attention away from Kioske so he could get 2 kills instead. It's not time to turtle up. And that's more utility coming your way, Falcons.
Nico tries to spam towards elbow, but nobody's on the other side of this.
Magix, who came into that last round with a Tech 9, no need to upgrade. We'll go ahead and grab an M4 to use against Falcons.
I mean, really a sign of bad things for Falcons. There's 3 M4s in the hands of Spirit right now. Prop him up, why don't you? Tess has to try to get the 5-7 into the action. Did hit that headshot. That's going to be Tanir low. M4 of Kioske looking for more than just that first, but Magix finds the perfect wall bang. Takes that pressure off of the Spirit members that are looking to just roll forward off ramp, but a missed smoke. Does it come back to haunt them? Doesn't feel like it will. Shiro, instant headshot there on Monte, and so it will just remain 2 pistols. Another bout of wallbang damage, taking Kerrigan down to 5. Pelted by utility, nade after nade. And he would love to try to stop this bomb plant, but doesn't have the vision to do it. Doesn't have the teammates, and, well, neither have the health to really throw a spanner in the works for Spirit.
Yeah, no chance to get one over on Spirit, and Nico will just back up into his death. And that's another round 1 for Team Spirit. Starting on T side, looking excellent themselves. The startling stat for Falcons, again, they're the ones also on a map win streak on Ancient. This one wasn't going to be free, but they have a 67% win rate on T side.
Right now, Falcons fans just holding their breath and hoping their team can even get there with something to show of their efforts on the defense. Monte trying to make the mid-jump into the corner, but again, there's not been like a ton of pressure coming out through the elbow.
I mean, he's gonna eat this entire thing. The volley. The smoke is too high. How does it even land there?
Kerrigan comes wide, a one and done off of the cave. Trying to be the hero of round 5, instead feeds another frag over to Spirit, and we get this cross perfectly timed by Zontix. Kioske will be none the wiser.
I don't know, I think he'll still clear it. You know, he doesn't see anything in here.
There we go. Good presence of mind. Gives Tessas a chance to drop smoke, but blindsides on multiple portions of the map. Sure, Kioske keeps his eye on it. Unfortunately, inside the B site, there's nothing here to be had.
I mean, their awareness about where the gaps are is insane. I mean, they're so ready to take all of these fights. 2 deaths on the map for Spirit inside of middle, but it is a free B site hit and 5-0 start. This will be a curtain call for Falcons if they don't wake up.
The hell?
I don't even know.
Team headshot.
Like one
had to have
damage
been Nico.
Oh, what?
He's laughing it off, but this is no joking matter. You're down to a 5-0 start versus Team Spirit, who already believe, based on the result of Mirage, that they are simply better. Nico's M4 held on to. No, sir, denied at the final mark. It is Donk to get the kill and be the sole survivor. Spirit instant timeout call.
Yeah, damn. I mean, that shot also gets him killed, and they know exactly where he's standing. What kind of investment can you really come up with here if you're Falcons? It's such a wiry buy. You're on the precipice of getting everything you want, but yeah, instead, just invest slightly. Spirit have been giving love to every part of the map. Saw them take their anti-eco towards A. I wonder if Falcons are thinking that's where they'll go again. They won't have an easy time contesting mid, obviously. They come in with so much utility to use. They really have to guise their intentions.
Essex again just gets caught with an nade. His timing is just that half second off. And no surprise to see Tanir and Donk just pounce on it through the smoke. Goes Kyosuke, up in smoke, go Team Falcons.
They're just not overthinking. Since Team Spirit started off Dust 2, 0 and 6, they haven't looked back. We saw the interview from Donk where he said about MOUZ, absolutely no chance. He said it with so much conviction in his voice, and then he delivered on that promise.
The way he was speaking about MOUZ was like a bug on the windshield. He sat there, listened to Xerxin have his little moment. 2 words. No chance. I don't think he would have expected to say the same thing coming into this grand finals. But as his confidence grows throughout this series, as he is now 9-1 here on Ancient, Team Spirit flawless in the 3rd map of this best-of-5 grand finals.
I mean, incredible credit to Spirit for everything that they've done that has accumulated in them getting to this grand finals, having a player like Tanir develop so well, new coach, Donk still playing well and actually on pace to break a record. Somehow everybody else is playing well and Donk is still getting his.
And the beauty of the formula was coming into this 3rd map, it was, you know, this breakout performance from Tanir, propping up the other pieces of Team Spirit. And now one for the road, if that's all Ancient's gonna be, is Donk's reminder to the rest of the world that he is still king. Nico, ahead of the smoke grenade, will catch Donk off at least. But we have just sat here singing the praise of all the other Spirit members, so let's see what this 4v5 recovery really looks like.
First time they successfully won their bouts inside of middle, taking control of it, and are up to a 5v4. But Tanir's lurks have been so effective, and Tessus will get spotted. He won't be able to let go of the smoke. He has to duel, and he'll win it. But this also draws everyone over to the wrong side of the map.
All a matter of Spirit pouncing in this moment, here and now. Monte with the deep line. As he sits here, we start to get second-guessing Falcons, taking a look over towards middle, which means it will be a fast rotation, and you'd think a comfortable retake in a 5v.
No CT smoke, op shot misses.
That's gonna open the door for the bomb plant. Magic's able to get that device on the front side of Donut. A little jump spot over the big box, and Shiro knows there's movement inside of Temple. He sees that as an invitation to take the CT line.
Ooh.
And Tessus, trying to fight back from the bottom of the scoreboard, has now got himself a multi-kill in this one. It's gonna fall on Magic's and Zontic's 2v5 in this A site.
Don't give up this position.
Here comes the retake, 3 numbers strong. Yeah, they'll clear it out. Tessus able to hold back finally. We've seen him kind of over-encumbered with utility usage inside B. He keeps it simple, gets the first kill, and in the 7th round of play, Falcons will win their first.
Straight counter flashes, a little elbow grease there from Nico as he takes that first duel. And still an interesting game plan to keep the round interesting out of Spirit, but it's, yeah, Tessus to find the lurk. Tessus to get the final word. We'll see if this means anything. Falcons have opened the door to this half or not, because they don't even need, I think, 6 rounds to be competitive. They're looking forward to next half. They just don't want to think too far ahead. everybody wants a show.
Kerrigan loves giving them to us. But Spirit also love to stomp. See if TSS can handle another challenge. No presence from Falcons out middle. Just let Spirit climb up into this duel on Cave.
Let's call this Monte's first kill.
This shot.
Oh, a chance to nail it. Oh, Kerrigan needed that from you, Monte.
You gotta know better. The Donk will absolutely break it.
His
to
last bullet.
2 shots left. He decides to swap out AKs and go on the hunt.
Let Freiberg off the leash. Donk looking to turn this entry into an ace. Falcons are cowering.
And that's the worst thing you can do versus a guy like Donk.
Man, Monte. Like, Kerrigan is a bait for him. He has a chance to hit that op shot. It totally changes the makeup of this round. And Donk, another headshot. He's an absolute machine, 13-2.
Run back the highlight reel. Trounces Falcons on that run through Cave. And you know, that's the kind of split-second decision that you get punished for when you're playing versus a guy like Donk. One smoke, all Kerrigan wants to drop. One missed op shot on a Monte. Now that's actually problematic. That's the biggest flaw in this situation so far.
He's up peaks. He's running through for 2 Cave.
Kerrigan says it, he's just running. Yeah, because he's running through you with no regard for whoever the hell you think you are not Donk.
A rifler with his longevity and his peak longevity is something we'll never see again. Maybe never, obviously. We never thought we'd see Donk in the first place. But it is a sight to behold. And whenever a player is this good, you almost see a dysfunctional system behind it consistently. Another B hit coming in quickly. Another entry for Tanir.
Nothing they can do. Josuke at least able to recover the one. TSS will find a back turn.
3 kills again.
Donk just does not stop. He will not let off. Relentless in overtaking Team Falcons. That B bomb site is his playground.
When there are that many people dying at one time, you have the right amount of people to stop the site exec, but no one is ever denying that opening kill, whether it's Tanir or Donk. Feels like the only time they even killed Tanir was when he was lurking. Spirit have not broken a sweat.
Zero kill Monte is not something I thought I'd be looking at in best of 5 grand.
No, not after the start.
No.
That first half of Dust 2. You know, this has nothing to do with capability. It has everything to do with circumstance.
Donk into the cover, knows you want to sign up for a fight. He is not timid in looking for it. Monte's first kill is collected in round 10.
Oh, he's early to that. Very nice movement, a second frag in.
Cannot remain a shell of himself, so to get a multi-kill in the dying moments of this CT side.
You know, it's that good movement that generates the opportunity for that next kill. And generating chances is something you see no matter how off his form looks. Obviously, the only question is, why are there any misses at all? When he's setting himself up and getting set up so well. But for now, that's not something they have to think about. That op impact may translate directly into a round one.
8-4, best case scenario for Falcons on this CT side. And in both maps, we've seen them rack up a couple rounds towards the ends of halves. It's not too much of an ask to totally stop this team's spirit. Sure, that seems unthinkable. But at least give yourself the best chance once you swap over to that T side that we have respect for. The stats don't lie. Falcons' attack should be a way back into this game, but they need a CT side to stand on, and this second round could be the start of that foundation at the tail end of these first 12 rounds of play.
We've seen close chances pass them by, but again, it doesn't really matter as long as they trek on and keep believing in themselves. The round where Donk entries his way through B, if MongolZ even gets one kill, that's really the difference maker. And we see an example of that now. We used to see a Spirit that could start slow, blow leads, get frustrated, and unfortunately for Falcons, so far none of those things seem like they're still apparent. And again, something new.
Donk doesn't believe that that fire spread far enough.
He's being held.
He's got support right behind him in the off chance that Donk doesn't get this kill himself. He waits for that smoke to block off
They hit
the
him with
rotate.
it. They hit him with it.
Yes, sir. Confirming that he's in there so that Donk knows damn well what's up. Firebomb misses. Extinguished. MongolZ wants his line, but as the smoke goes back up, it's going to be the CT side taken open. Spawn belongs to Spirit.
Yeah, they can run at this A site. Flash not dodge. Shiro could die.
Just recovers vision. Kerrigan able to stuff him up close. Man advantage for the retakes. Falcons need every round left in this CT side.
They want to run it this early. One trade comes back to Near in the clutch.
Tontix taking that frag, pushes Tanir into the clutch, and we saw his entries over on B site. What about a close? Missed opportunity there for MongolZ. And as Falcons players line up, Tanir just stays tucked in. Goes for the wide swing. Almost, but instead Falcons find three.
The fact they can even make that competitive is unreal. But they close it. Falcons pick up a third. Not an easy situation, and we're seeing more of those lineups where the flash actually hits the target. Into lower on Dust 2, right in this corner. No way to counter that.
Just when you think you'd seen it all, Counter-Strike never stops evolving. Another exit out through middle here for Donk. 16-4 on the T side.
That flash might get him killed. Yeah, that flash will get him killed. It goes too high. Donk had already scaled. He saw that flash for so long.
How many kills can this one monster find?
The never-ending question.
In 12 rounds of Counter-Strike. We've got Falcons shaking in their boots because they know that this B site has crumbled for the majority of this CT side. This cave has been MongolZ's grave more often than not, and looking to make up for that.
It's been horrible attempts to defend B, just in general. Everybody involved, honestly.
He'll overtake the cave. No resistance offered for Team Spirit. 2 pieces on the brink of this B bomb site, looking to join forces with the bomb itself up ramp. This is numbers strong for Spirit. And while Falcons do have A info, Nico nowhere to be found. MongolZ's got to collect something, and he's got to do it now.
No utility left. MongolZ will have open lines.
They stall, they stutter, they hold for a second, and this actually pulls Kerrigan off of the bomb site. Out goes that one last flash. And still, Spirit, nowhere to be found. And so MongolZ starts to second guess himself. Is there really anything here? They'll stay locked in, doubling up here on short instead. The bomb over towards ramp. They have waited to the final 15 seconds.
Oh!
Odyssey, that one's slick. Shiro gets the recovery, so it is only Monte here.
Oh!
He will get himself a third kill on this round. No fourth. This Magix forces through. And Nico from the other side of the map will have to come running over. Low HP Tenier confirms the avenue of attack.
Oh, nade bounces off nothing.
Goes too far. Fire to Magix's feet will burn him out from behind that column, but he's got a little bit of refuge still left. And as Nico tries to figure out where the hell Tenier got off to, he knows he's got to be up close.
They made the Kier move. He's going to clear this out.
15 seconds. Nico trying to press in. They've done such a good job of just dodging him. Elusive and unstoppable. Our Spirit by the end of this first half. Just when Falcons start to piece together a couple of rounds and attempt to build back their self-belief, Spirit crushed them.
Yeah. (9-3) to round out the half. That's exactly what Spirit were looking for coming into Ancient. They know that Falcons are formidable on this map. And as happy as they will be to switch over to T-side themselves, from what we've seen so far, Spirit aren't simply going to crack.
What a totally different round as well. Just, within the bigger picture, the gearing up and the evolution of Team Spirit.
We're watching this moment for Monte. It feels like hours late at this point. And a round like that and consistent output like that, and he does have a team that will pick up some key trades around him. But to be honest, that whole B site was just an eyesore. Every attempt at the hold, playing retake on every single situation, letting the flashes hit them, full efficacy, pop flashes, landing right in front of the default pillar, and then dying with no chance to shoot back. That B site hold needs a renovation, and it's too late to do anything about that. Now they must figure out how to win this on the attack.
All in, super simplified. Charge up into that B site. Kerrigan to have his hands full. Tries to catch them off. Tenier with the jumping USB headshot. As if Team Spirit needed anything else. Now Lady Luck blesses them in this retake. Magic starts to offer up a distraction. That's going to call a lot of bodies for Falcons towards this corner. And still he just stays locked in. Tessa's dead. All on Kyosuke. Donk on the other end of this. And that's going to force Kyosuke back into the cave with 30 health. They are going to stick this bomb.
Yeah, protect the VIP. That's the round over if Kyosuke doesn't run at this.
He tries to charge it down, and as he closes in on the distance, his chance right there. But he can't hit any headshot.
He had chances. He had time. He had bullets. But he didn't have the aim. He knocks him off the defuse. Even if he dies, that round is won. Oh, that's how you die.
Donk cleans up.
Oh, Tenier could not hit him, and still Donk stayed alive. Good job body blocking.
Falcons, in an act of desperation, are going to force buy into this round. They're trying to put investments into Kyosuke's hand. He will be holding on to that AK-47. Just when you thought that maybe Monte could bring back this game, we start to see a little shakiness creep into Kyosuke's hands. Just get him off the defuse, all that's asked. And under pressure, due to the defuse itself, he cannot get it. Falcons will have no pistol win. And this uphill battle
only gets deeper.
Deeper and deeper. Falcons, no strangers to heartbreak, no strangers to missteps, no strangers to radar screenshots. But it's doom and gloom for what's left of this half if they can't win this round. So Kerrigan finding a Tech 9 kill in mid helps. But Zontix was ready to respond, and that smoke spam.
Oh, they deny it.
Perfect.
Oh, are you even going to get the bomb planted now?
Now Kyosuke's AK's revealed itself, and TeSS uses that Tech 9 to press in. Kyosuke delivers a second. Hands busy with the bomb plant. The coverage is fantastic. A couple kills to Kyosuke, a double down by TeSS, and Falcons find fights.
Now, we all have been in that situation on the A site. Bomb gets denied. You don't necessarily get another opportunity to put it down, but they had more to give. More fraggers to trade, so they do go up against a little bit of resistance, and they succeed. It's a good call to get into the A site. Very simple for them. We haven't seen the full breadth of the game plan here on T-side Ancient. Here's where they'll have to show us what to believe in. Immediately missing a molly. Spirit don't have much.
Nico's better be worried about that ramp push. You can see his caution. All Donk
Let's
wants
just
is
do no deagle headshots for one round. Like, let's just see what happens if, you know, Spirit don't convert this round. Monte takes one off. Okay.
Here we go. Shiro. It's not a headshot. Oh, there it is. A main will get shut down. And you've had this moment for Tenier to push a 5-7 into this corner. We know what 5-7s do in this kind of a distance. And so Nico dead, all of a sudden, you don't want to push out of that door, and he's got a smoke to block this in a minute.
No greed for Tenier, doesn't go for the gun, gets away, smoke to block this off. And it becomes a nightmare now for Falcons, 2v3.
And they split up.
Just to win versus an anti-eco.
Tenier decides to give them space. But every step of the way, Falcons are going to remain cautious, concerned that any of these corners could be occupied by that same lethal 5-7 that just took Nico's head off.
It's still the right call. They still made the inroads to get this bomb planted.
That smoke is an open invitation to Tenier. It's just all based off timing.
Wait, no.
Finds you with hands busy. And Kyosuke doesn't get that instant trade.
And doesn't get that second chance either.
Oh, here he comes again, Tenier. Just the bane of Kyosuke's existence. Team Spirit will not only dismantle Falcons, but embarrass them on the way out.
I thought it was going to be the Donk Deagle headshot. Instead, it was Shiro. The Allen Iverson as he fades back into Donut.
3v5 with pistol.
Oh, a parting gift.
And Tenier, a one-man army. He had no help over here.
Dude.
2 teammates still alive.
That smoke gave him the best gap he could ask for.
A standout performance now for Tenier in this grand finals, trying to tap back into what he showed us in the first 2 maps of play. Monte's gonna take over middle.
Listen, if Falcons miss utility, then we're worried. If Spirit do, we'll see if it matters. 12th round is looming if they don't get this together. Monte, looking to punish this peak. Zontix doesn't even have an angle here. Oh, he peeks out a little late, and now 2 kills come on the entries.
Oh, there's the answer! Shiro mows down a couple of bodies, will put Tenier into the clutch, and I think with a game like what he's having, he'd love to step up to this bat.
Tenier know that someone else has fallen back a little bit. Kyosuke's coming in slow. I mean, this looks like the perfect move for him.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Tenier considers this, but if he goes around the brick, that's his moment. Kyosuke, good patience, leans back, gets a triple kill in this one, and Falcons find a little more fight left in them.
Sometimes you gotta stare death in the face to remember to live. That's what Falcons have to show us, because again, the pressure and the circumstance of this grand finals is obviously affecting them and individual performances. And Falcons just missing more utility. Just so much utility, honestly.
Round by round, Falcons build. We're still at that point to the comeback, though, where Team Spirit, no concern.
Yeah, I mean, Magix has a Zeus. He's chilling.
Of course he does. But they go through their protocols and they at least get him to step back a bit. They bump into one another, so be it. Tanir's blasted out of this one. Zeus ready to go. It's only that USP kill for Team Spirit. Numbers strong by Falcons. They play that high trade potential, find themselves comfortably inside of this bomb site, and it's exactly what you'd expect when Spirit had so little.
Nothing left to do here. They'll have to submit. Falcons will pick up a 6th round. Kyosuke's got himself back into this big game in a big way. It was a slow start for everyone here on Ancient. But it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And every round is an opportunity. A 5-round gap. The full buy comes out. And the investment here for Spirit, they have Shiro's op. 2 kits coming in. They missed this molly twice. I gotta pay these guys more.
Or is that what caused the Spirit smoke up at their last round?
Oh, is that, oh, they're trying to block.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, they did block it last time.
There's layers. There's also limitations. SMGs for Spirit on 2.
Spirit are already really low on utility. We've got 1 flash left over for Donk. Exact coming your way. Zontix at the top of Donut. It's a really great angle to hold. 2K spray downs happen from this position.
He's playing in front of it. Ready for the commitment, but that flash binds him. All of a sudden, Donk decides that he's just gonna take this by storm. No way!
Oh!
What? In the middle of it all!
He's tore through them. Everyone to support that. They had no idea he'd wrap around default.
TSS was pressed up against him, and Donk has decided that enough is enough! Storming through! No concern for his own well-being because he has belief in the rest of this team!
He tore through this site like a piece of paper. Everyone peeking, it felt like seamlessly, but just a second too late.
A devilish decision to push through the flames. Here we go, back to mid. Donk wants more blood. And TSS will give him something to think about. Now Falcons face reality. The still elusive trophy lift for this team. They tried to build up the belief thanks to Kerrigan. But we are witnessing an evolution in Team Spirit. A lot of bodies for Falcons to just try to take down this B site, and if they run up that ramp, by God, there is nothing meant to stop them. Spirit will opt to try and maintain control of Cave. And if a retake's needed, so be it. TSS with low HP, a little too concerned, but he's not writing off that corner from Tanir.
They're freeing up Magics to go a little bit aggro here.
Tech9's got the answer, but it is Tanir to hold back TSS.
This comes down to these two.
There's the push again, because time and time again it is disrespect. Team Spirit have fueled themselves in this grand finals run on the shortcoming of Falcons. Monte in the middle of what remains.
The routing off a short, it's perfect.
Oh, but
and
the shot leaves a lot to be desired. Still, 34 health for Monte, swaps back over to the op.
It's not necessary, he's only got 4 health. Now he has to hit the shot or it's over.
Sticking, down to the last second, denied. Because Monte calculates it to perfection. pushes off that bomb site and gives Falcons just a little more to believe.
Oh, wanted to believe that it was going to be a fake. The game could have ended right there. Unnervingly close. But Monte secures it, a clutch.
But these Team Spirit buys keep coming.
And Spirit actually coming with no kits this time around.
Donk will once more throw himself towards early duels. Kyosuke's responsibility. Sees the shadow on that jump back. He is being left to his own devices out here middle.
Donk's thinking about it. Oh.
Falcons just try and sink their teeth into this B site. But Tanir puts that smoke down in the middle of it all. Nico, nice! Transfers the Galil into the back-to-back headshots. It's man advantage momentarily for the Falcons.
Yeah, it's a successful contact. Explode. Tessus is low, but won't go down. Bomb gets planted safely. Again, no retake utility here for Spirit. They maybe are going to hang out, but what are their odds of actually trying this? It's their money that's in jeopardy.
It was a bad frag grenade that bounced off the front of the column that could have been a way for Tessus to wind up dead.
And even giving up an extra kill here. Spirit want to make this game interesting. So Donk gets a 5v4, but immediately they don't see Donk. They run up into B. They have this death bolt they've always had. Between Monte and Nico, their power when it comes to entering into sites. Second to none. I can understand why they want to send out Kyosuke as a mercenary to get info on mid, to maybe take a duel, but they do have to be a little bit more careful about how they're using him because Spirit have been really doing a great job of countering him. Obviously, Donk is kind of doing it alone sometimes. But now every situation on the knife sets, it has to be the full comeback here for Falcons. And because they lose that third gun, it does leave this buy in a weird spot. I feel like 3 guns and a couple of pistols, and they've already shown they can win a round like that.
Soak it up.
The Falcon support is getting loud.
Two rifles for Spirit. They have thrown spanners in the works when it comes to these kinds of buys. And this M-Force position, postured to kill Tessus. Sure enough, the first victim, a missed opportunity for Monte. They're gonna try to just flood into this site, but remember, Donk's also got a gun. There it is. Line up with a headshot.
Yeah, it's a skewer.
USP's melted.
They said we can get 3Ks on B as well. It's only one full gun to get through. Bomb gets planted. Next 2 can get recycled. Falcons making an argument for themselves. But just a more simple test. And again, we know that Spirit can win rounds like this, so. They get into dignified territory now with 9 rounds. But they have to stare tournament point in the face every single time they get into freeze time.
And Kerrigan's job is to keep them in belief that all you have to do now is rack up 3 more rounds. This is where he makes his money. Simply what he does.
They made the full comeback back on Dust too. Overtime's not what they want to think about, but
still better than crushing defeat.
and again they have these T-side statistics on their side. They just got to make sure that Donk doesn't have another lights out round.
You can see him trying to hunt them, can't you? Donk continues to sign up for these moments and missed run boost. That could have been the moment. Kyosuke actually is out here along the wall.
Oh, it's on Dix. Well, one trade back for TSS.
Good on him to get that numbers back. It's Donk dead early, and Kerrigan losing out to the MP9 push off of the ramp. In-game leaders clash, and it is Spirit to come out on top.
And it's a bit of utility to soften them up early, and now it's another man advantage for Spirit.
Nico tries to hunt one down, looks for contact versus Tanir. That low health of Magix could wind up being a liability, but the numbers are over towards this B site. Look at that radar and ask, what is TeSS up to?
Are they really gonna swing him? Is there a chance? To generate a chance, there is.
He nails it, falls away, loses health in response for that, but all you needed was to equalize the numbers first and foremost.
Well, they know that the CTs were worried about B, so they could try to cut off their rotation as they fight towards A.
Zontic's making a move.
Look who waits for them.
It's a bomb that's right behind him, but he just doesn't know.
He isn't spotted.
And so as he strives to get away from this, utility will trickle down from above.
Oh, he's floating.
He's gonna turn. He's gonna start considering A main, and as he does, no, never mind, he wants the duel towards Donut. It goes even worse. It's a quick headshot for Zontix, back at it. Denied by TeSS, who has found himself 2 critical trades in this round.
They won't rush this. Back at default is clean. Nico holding strong.
No kit, but close on the proximity for the retake.
Oh, they can taste it. It's a risk, but they want to go for it.
Hunting down their 4th consecutive on this T side. Falcons looking to just survive.
Wait,
Go
Nico.
quiet. Nico's gonna get blindsided out by Magix. Now it's TeSS who is calling for the quad. A grenade in his name, and Shiro, with a health advantage, closes in on the distance. Bombs at 15 seconds. This is a no-kit situation.
Oh,
TeSS
yes.
plays that clock down to perfection, and Falcons find their 10.
That's ice cold out of TeSS. Here's the run to the right, doesn't fall for it, calls the bluff to Shiro. Whole tournament on the line. Clutch delivered.
Pillar of Team Falcons. TeSS stands tall.
And finally, you see some frustration on the side of Spirit. And finally, a timeout called. Now this moment right here, Magic swinging out in front, and he's low HP, gives TeSS a chance. They didn't know exactly where he'd be playing from. It felt like Zontix did enough just by taking out the op. There is a reality that Falcons bring this all the way back. Even though it's on a knife's edge every single step of the way. If they survive this round, Spirit are gonna have bare bones. Shiro's not seeing this up again unless he saves it. Falcons are living up to the T-sides they've delivered so far in their last matches. And will they send Kyosuke out mid? Yes.
Again, it's the right counter utility for the job, but they're also met by flames out of the other end. Early note, Spirit, no kit once more. Oh, excuse me, Shiro did get one at the end.
This is different because they know that the rifles have been swinging.
Well, that's all they want, eh?
Yeah.
All they want's a battle between the oppers, but Shiro throwing utility. As that op is blinded, Zontix strikes from the red room. Kyosuke's got the trade back.
Yeah, it's the 1-2 punch.
It has felt like nearly no kill goes untraded as these rounds have racked up. And all Shiro wants is that challenge to walk into him, but he sends a shot down range, and that's information for Kerrigan.
Yeah, he said reveal yourself, and he did. Wanted desperately for that shot to land, and that's all Falcons need to hear. They have made a decision.
Fast move.
Look at the conviction of the movements.
You know exactly what they want, and you know exactly who is meant to hold this. Tanir will be a part of this pack. This 2-man situation inside of the caves that remains unsmoked.
Yeah, they said you can have cave. We might not even fight you there.
Whether they plant on the other side of column yet to be. Kyosuke's gonna have a challenge come his way. No way that happens!
They expose him.
Magic's throwing caution to the wind.
This is insane from TeSS, ready to swing out. No one behind him.
Fast climb on the flank already. We've got 2 fights unfolding at the same time.
Can he really take out Dong?
Magix and Tanir push off the bomb site. TeSS dead. It is all on Nico, and his legs may just crumble out beneath him as he tries to chase Tanir over towards the ramp. That's all it takes. Team Spirit, 13-10, map 3.
They make it a 3-0. They fight. It goes all the way to the end. And Falcons, the dream has finally died. They made it all this way. They impressed so much. But never once did we see Team Spirit crack. Their IGL showing us levels we didn't think possible this quickly. to near reaching new heights, tournaments in a row. Donk still setting and breaking records, and yet his team is also eating.
Nothing could stop Donk when he took this scene by storm, but shortcomings stacked up, and Team Spirit needed more. Tonight we get our first glimpse of what this roster could become. Because for the first time it feels like Team Spirit are more than one monster. This band of demons feels unchained. Back-to-back champions of PGL Astana